But first, bro, before we jump into some questions for you,
Yeah.
how did you see the rugby? Have you seen the highlights? All Blacks and Lions,
Oh,
bro?
of course. But on the Lions, yeah, I didn't get up and watch the game. I watched the highlights. I watched the highlights of the Lions game. I heard and didn't the Richie Moonga didn't look too good.
I've heard that. Yeah, I listened to Ren's conversation at the end, but yeah, some work to do, bro. We're lucky, bro. 41, I think 35 in the end.
High scoring game.
Yeah,
All Blacks don't take the lead till like the last, 10 minutes.
The last, yeah, bro. Yeah, they were blinking, streaking away. So, but good that they fought back into it, and so this next test in Cape Town is going to be good. But yeah, I only saw the highlights too. I was actually going to get up and watch, and I thought, no, I'll wait till the South African game, and I thought they should be all right. Like, I didn't think it would be a hiding, but I thought it would be. I didn't think it would be that close either.
No.
What did you think of the highlights?
Good to see I'm a Chiefs man, brother. If you're the Chiefs go right, you're not running around. But I don't mind all the tava nawa, I like it.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, I like all tava nawa. He's not a Chiefs man, the Highlanders guy, but guns. It's good to see the boys. I just like this whole greatest rivalry tour, brother. Like even the content that's coming out. I don't know if you've seen old Lima Sapuanga, old Ruby Page, for the dinner. Like all of this, I'm loving the content, brother. I'm loving the content. So, yeah, the content around this whole greatest rivalry tour. I mean, for people that don't understand, could you explain sort of they might be listening? They're like, "What's this greatest rivalry? What's this rugby?"
Who, me?
Yeah, could you explain it, like to people? The greatest rivalry,
bro. No, I can't really explain it other than
your understanding.
Oh, my basic understanding, bro. It's just the competitive nature between South Africa and New Zealand.
Yeah,
and the long running, I guess, well, what they're saying, rivalry between the two. In my opinion, the two greatest nations when it comes to rugby. Australia's up there, but for me, it's always been those two.
Well, statistics wise, it's not a question. It is those two. It's those two.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and also the All Blacks are the greatest winning team of all time of all sports. So, and they still are. Even though they've had a bit of a low in the last few years. And then South Africa, they have the highest winning percentage of any sports team ever, but also they have
4 World Cups. Bloody buggers.
But like the All Blacks have a higher winning percentage than everybody in rugby too, even against South Africa. But they're their closest rivals.
They're the closest,
Yeah. But this is 30 years. This is 30 years from the first time the All Blacks actually won a tour over in South Africa, right? 1996. So 30 years on from there, they're doing another tour. And the crazy thing is because we haven't. I think people probably forget how lucky they were to go to South Africa during Super Rugby. When Super Rugby,
true, eh?
Because we don't have the South African teams anymore since COVID. It changed the whole. It changed the world, but also changed rugby because I think that's something that the All Blacks must say is that competition with the South African players as well, because the Wallabies Wallabies are tickle, so like just trying to play only the Wallabies every year, not that good.
Been struggling, the old Wallabies. They can hopefully they can turn it around, see what happens.
Well, we need them to turn it around, brother. we need that competition.
Yeah.
Not that we want them to win with Bledisloe, but like it'll probably be good for rugby if they did. Like for New Zealand rugby, it'll get
it won't be.
No, but you know what I mean in terms of competition. We don't want that to happen, but because I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to see. Cool to see people. And just cool to see. I don't know, because I just feel like I'm a big rugby league guy, and rugby too. But like,
true.
Yeah. What about you? Rugby league at all, Nate?
Oh, I watch league, but I've always predominantly been rugby union. But yeah, definitely from league.
You have a team, or you don't really care? Oh, up the wires! Let's go, mama. That's
from the league.
I'm up the wires to the death, brother. I like the wires way more than All Blacks. Straight up, cuss. It's been some lean the whole 30 years. Well, I played for them when I was a kid, so it was like just sucking me since I was a little kid,
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Foundational team, eh?
Yeah.
And then so it was just always like us growing up, and
they're top of the table now. Are they top of the table?
Still, top of the table, brother, by 1 point over the Panthers.
1 point, eh? And that was that because the Tigers beat the Roosters?
Yeah.
By their 1 point?
Yeah, because so for and against wise, for and against wise, we're way ahead of the Roosters. They just had one extra win, one more win than we had. So if they kept winning, they would. No, but we're ahead of the Panthers by 1 point because we kicked the drop goal right there. So that's pretty exciting. As a Wires fan, the thing is too, all the years, even though we've made 2 grand finals and had a few, been in the finals a couple of times lately. This team's different it seems different than before. They just strangle people, man. And they don't give up much ball. And even when people start to gain on the Wires when they're ahead, and then they start catching up, the Wires capitulate in the past, But then they
seem more able to just
on.
stay in it, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, got a bit of this, say, brother.
Definitely seems like it. Yeah, must be having the arrival of Fisher Harris in there.
Yeah, I think. Well, it has to be 4 premierships, say, brother. Kiwis captain, beat Australia by the biggest score ever.
Carries a lot of mana, that fella.
And then even Barnett too. I think they set the standard. You even see when the boys when they go off, sometimes, even though the young bucks are still pretty solid, they can sort of go a little bit, off a little bit, just a tad. The boys come back on, straighten them up again, and away they go.
Yeah. No, you'll be loving it then.
Oh, definitely, bro, to the max. But also because of so many, things never going never happening, is always been a bridesmaid, all that kind of thing. Or there's still that thing in me that's like, is this for real? Brother? I was hoping to go there for Radio Aotearoa, but doesn't look like it. So I'll be going there with Shubz Says So if I go to the grand final.
Yeah, nice. Well, hey, it's probably better. I'd like to tap into that with you. And the Shubz Says So stuff in this Radio Aotearoa Blinken debacle. What's the kaupapa there, bro? What's happening? Like I said to you off here just before we come on, I saw a piece. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but it looks and sounds like you're no longer with Radio Aotearoa.
No, I'm not, bro.
What's happened there, bro?
So what's happened there? The gist of it is, okay, there's a lot to it. Really.
Take your time, bro. Take your time.
All I can say is like the short of it is that we had an agreement. An agreement. We're never
written agreement or
no, not written, but verbal, but also acknowledged that the agreements existed in emails and stuff like that. So there's no oh no, we didn't say that.
Gotcha.
That has been acknowledged. But also just being labelled as volunteers. When even brother, you're aware of some of the hours that I put into the bloody show.
Yeah,
bro. So even by law, under law, because they're not a charity, they're actually a they're a company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
By law, we're way outside of the scope of being a volunteer for the hours that myself and Corina put in, and our little team too.
And Corina's a producer.
Yeah, my producer. Yeah, Corina's my producer.
Shout out, Corina.
Shout out all day, because without her reaching out and sending everybody the links and doing, teeing up everything, she puts my program, even puts questions together for me, all of that stuff. I don't always ask them, but half the time I think not just but they're there. They're there, especially if I don't know who the person is. Because some people can I get on or reach out to her to come on, or they hit me up and I just send them her way. But she, she just makes my job way easier just to talk. Awesome. And then also she joins in corridors as a guest too. But all the work that we'd put in wasn't just for the show 4 to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, which we never had a day off, brother. Any of those weekdays, we did 91 until Monday, 91 weekdays straight, 127 days, including the weekends where we'd making content or whatever to help grow the show in the station, because we were sold the stream that we'd get ownership, we'd get all of these different things, and we weren't getting paid at the time, other than a bit of a kai at this cafe that we could go to, which is sort of out of the way to go there anyway. And a little petrol card that didn't even cover the petrol to get to the station anyway. And at the start, I was just I guess you could be oh, you should have seen this from the start. Yeah, probably. But I was just so blinded by, one, their whānau. Yeah. Two, this dream of hey, well, I can be on this platform, this mainstream media platform. Yes, it's not known, but I can make it known and I can build it. And hang on. You said, part.
Huh? I got that. We'll come back to it. But you said they're whānau, whānau. This is your family that. Regards to
well, yeah. Well, it was my mother's brothers and my mother's family. The one was the owner, for sure. Right. I didn't grow up having too much to do with them, you know what I mean? Because I've been all over my life's all over the place. But gotcha. still for nothing is whānau and sold the dream on the back of being whānau, you're with blood, all these things. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm down, let's go. And to be honest, there was people that did tell me at the start, oh, be careful. And then I was like, shut up. You know what I mean? So like, it's my fault.
It's family. Like, what could go wrong?
Yeah. Well, then that's usually where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was that. I'm blinded by that kind of loyalty, and also just this idea of like, like we're sold the dream that we can go to Parliament, we go and interview these politicians, we can do all these different things, and having a media pass and all of that stuff that will get us into these places. Also, we were told that we can sell advertising, and any advertising we bring in, we'll get half of the revenue or something. Yeah, we'll get half of it. We were meant to, and then it changed to 35% or something. It was like even those things I just ignored and kept going. But also the infrastructure to move the advertising, because I went and got one of my other mates to come and go and sell the advertising for us while we did the work, and then we'll split it or whatever. Yep. The infrastructure was never even in place, brother. Until like probably 2 weeks ago, but from way back. So even if we were able to, we weren't given the opportunity to even fund ourselves from what we were doing. But not only that, we went to all these political things to help, as the station, as with Radio Aotearoa, as repping for the squad, even getting David Seymour and that to shout out to Radio Aotearoa and other political figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you spend a lot of time with him. It's almost like every week you're on with him.
Yeah, brother. Every Tuesday, brother. Every Tuesday, even yesterday. True. Yesterday he was on, brother. Yeah. He came a bit late, so I was on with the bro Thomas Singh and the bro Jimothy. We were just having a quick yarn, and then David came in, and I just added him in with the boys. I just added him in because he messaged and he was like, "I'm late, bro. Can I can still join now? Sorry." And then I was like, all good, bro." And I thought, actually, brother, I'll be honest. Yeah. When he was late, I thought. And because I'm used to being on there and then cutting to breaks in there, but because it was the first time I got sacked online, brother, I didn't even know that I got sacked. Like I still haven't got a formal thing, so I guess like literally, I haven't really been sacked. They just posted on the Facebook page that the shows stopped for 4 to 7
How
p.m.
useless is that? This is your whānau. They can't even give you a call to say, hey, we've got to stand you down or whatever.
Yeah, no, gutless, brother. But that's what I'm saying is like. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking,
boycott Radio Aotearoa, bloody rubbish.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So the statement goes on the line. Everyone can see it on Facebook, or I posted about it. You should actually do a review of this on your page, dude, because I put up a couple of good videos, brother, that you could go follow and follow along. Be some cool. Yarns if you want to.
Get the links up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I found out that I got the sack was on
through a post online.
Yeah, but I've got no emails, brother. I've got no emails about it or anything.
Have you reached out to them? Have you reached out to them to say, hey, what's the story with this?
No, I was
not that you should have to.
I'll just carry on. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just, fuck it, then I'll just carry on doing it online. Like, part of me was like, we should just carry on and go in there. But I'm not even near Auckland at the moment. So I was like, I'm not even near Auckland. And so I was like, but the system that we're going to go, I was like, we're going to go in, but I didn't want to like send the sister and then for drama, then next month they're getting kicked off, you know what I mean? So like sending the girls and like, I might as well go face the music like that way, but I'm not there. So I was like, that's all good. And we found out like by the time I wouldn't even been able to get to Auckland in time. Like by the time I found out anyway, to be able to go to the studio to do it. But Buzzy, brother. So that's how I find out. I find out on Facebook because they post on the Radio Aotearoa. The funny thing is, if you go and look at the post, because Raywin, which is the wife, Raywin Barna's taken over she's taken over the organization, CEO in it of everything, so he could go and run for politics.
Raywin Barna.
Yeah, so that's his wife. That's George's wife. So George's the uncle that that's my mum's whananga, and then Raywin is his wife. But they both obviously still got their own maiden names, but I think that might be like a tactic because like how they game the system. Because if you look at a lot of the companies, they're 50-50 owners, but they're two different names, right? Bane and Ngatai. I don't know. It's just conspiracy a little bit maybe, but also, but yeah, when that happens, I'm like, okay. So obviously I can't. They've cut our program. They didn't say it's terminated, but they said it's off the air, and I'm not getting off like the air. Like we got a show that's already built. We haven't found out formally, so I was like, well, stuff is, I'll just do it online only. Then I'll just do it on online only. Yeah. But so I ended up doing that yesterday. Jumped online and we did it yesterday. But the funny thing was, I'm so used to cutting to breaks in that, like in music or whatever.
Now you don't have to, eh?
Yeah, but so I was talking. So the first guest I had yesterday was, and this is even crazier because George and Raywin have been like 20-year members of Destiny Church, right? Which is, hey, be a member of whoever you want. Kids play. And the first guest that was, and it wasn't even planned this way, this was teed up last week, was Hannah Tamaki, because she's running for Papakura, which is Brian's wife.
Right.
and Papakura is the same seat that George is running in, which is even weirder. It's like, why are you running against your leader? Of the
True. Is that his first time? Is that his first time running? Will this be his first time running?
No. He ran for their party before, and he's been a national candidate in the past. He's been trying to get into politics for like 15 plus years, brother. But actually, if you're still with me in about 20 minutes, 18 minutes, we may have to watch, because he has put on his Facebook that there will be an announcement. And I have been told that it may be gone by lunchtime. Well, I guess we'll find out when he announces.
All right.
So
he's a National Party.
No, and then New Zealand First this time.
So
okay. So he's been in around politics for a long time. He tried to
moved
go
around different parties.
He tried. Yeah, a bit of a political hoe. Tried to go for. Oh, it's true. I'm just saying, like you weren't in the New Zealand, like you were Anzacs, you know. You didn't go over the Iraqi army and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, brother. You know? yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying, my man. Like at least you're Australia, New Zealand, Anzacs, brother. You know, you were trying to join Afghanistan, the Solomon Island, or whatever. I don't know, East Timor army. I don't know what they got, but you know what I mean. I don't know, some kind of throwing stones in caves, but yeah. So he's been in around politics for a long time. Was in the National Party. Was on their list years ago. Which is how you.
What was his portfolio? Was he an actual minister, or was
no? He was. He was a candidate, brother. Way back.
Yeah.
And also, he went for, I think, or he told me. Now I don't know. Now I know things to be facts, but I don't know his sides of the story. How much of it's true anymore? Because I'm like, how much of it was rubbish? You know, it was selling me the dream. I do know that he went for the president to try and be who John Tamihere is for the Māori party. So he's the president of the party, right? He was trying to be that back in the days, but obviously got the chop. He lost by 1 vote, they say. So he didn't get that, and also was on the National Party list, and now is New Zealand First, and also ran for Vision, which is the Destiny Church Party. So
holy
been in and around, been hanging around the politics for a long time.
Be in the Greens next, and then top.
Well, no, this is what's actually funny, brother. So I don't know if you've seen the reel. Have you seen the reel that I put up? And it's like George Ngatai, candidate for Papakura, New Zealand First. Have you seen that?
I think that's part of the one that I saw. Is that the one where you start talking about
was there receipts that popped up after that? It was like that, or no?
Oh, nah. I think the one that I saw.
Oh, nah. That was the other one that I put up yesterday. So what I did was, I can play it on air. Yeah, let's play that shit.
Yeah, it's your end.
yeah. This is good. But yeah, I wanted to just show you, brother. Let's go. Let's go. Might as well just show you. Here we go. Find out how do we do with this? I forget that because I'm too used to just being radio.
Share screen? Is it a share screen?
Yeah. What do you use, bro, to stream?
Bro, I've just been using straight live. YouTube Live. But then the other stuff that I do is using School, different platform to YouTube. That's the speak before you think space. No censoring and no filtering over there on that little space that I've created just recently. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Schooled.
And your guests can interact or talk or just chat, like type, or they can just have audio and have their camera off.
Okay then. Well, that's what's going on over there. Share screen.
Yeah. Share screen.
Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. Let's get Instagram. Got to hit the Instagram.
Yep, I can see that.
There we go.
Hey, hi everyone. George Ngatai here, your Papakura candidate for, of course, New Zealand First.
See this one?
That's it. It's going to be interesting to see if Billy gets in. There's 2 out there for them, and they don't like people who attract attention. It's a Winston Peters first, and then Shane first.
This is our conversations, him and I talking.
There have been a few
disappointments. This is him texting me.
Right, candidates, and it's like Stuart and Michael Laws, Ron Marks. Oh, Ron Marks, that's a solid fellow right there. I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen of him, all the old boys that will likely know us into the top 20, but we need top 12. Okay.
George Ngatai here, your Papakura candidate for, of course, New Zealand First.
Act 2, not returning. 2 MPs not returning. 11 MPs expect to get 10 this year. We need to be in the top 10 for it. Not Then I will start. So is this? Oh, this is from George to you.
This is me and George talking. Yeah.
Well, then my role is to prep you to replace me after a term.
And I'm like, bro, I don't want to be in politics. Like, I should put that out actually too. I didn't put that in the thing, but yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be. He's like, no, you need to be for our people. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be a politician.
Just looking at
George
speed bandit on the right.
Your Papakuta candidates for, of course, New Zealand first.
No, I'm good. Just what's that? Something.
Strategize.
Strategize for Plan B. I know her. She was a national MP. See if David will consider a list for a strong Māori who is more Pākehā than Pākehā. I'm thinking.
This is him asking me to ask David Seymour to consider him for a list spot.
Serious.
George Ngatai here, your Papakuta candidate for, of course, New Zealand first.
Yeah, I've not seen this before, bro.
Oh yeah,
I've not seen this reel. Yeah.
So this all happened, but this was literally like 2 or 3 weeks before he got announced as a candidate for New Zealand first. So this wasn't years ago, bro. This is like when he thought he wasn't going to get picked.
Despite the lateness, I do feel this could be a combo that would benefit this country. And if it's considered, I'll be here to offer support any way I can. David Seymour, George, thanks for getting in touch. It's very late in the piece, but let's try a quarter or some time. You're busy, Hope. I'm happy to meet there, discuss options further. I'm happy to come to you. We're far out. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, that's your home. Good stuff. All right.
George Ngatai here, your Papakuta candidate for, of course, New Zealand first.
Kulai, is that the Opportunity Party lady?
Yeah, Kulai.
Yeah. Kia ora, for the intro, Shubz. If and when. So, have you interviewed her as well?
Yeah, I have.
Right,
but anyway, but pretty much. But I don't know if you. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, out of it, brother. Out of it.
Bro, weird.
Yeah. So that's
that fella's all over the shop. Bro,
and because Kulai is fully opposite, she's on the other side, brother. But yeah. But he asked me, so I called her, and then she said it was pretty late in the piece too, because it was, it's pretty late.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and this is what are we now? That was in June or whatever it is, because that was pretty late for them to start considering candidates. Like, they've already sort of sorted out who they're gonna pick, for each spot, so they can start campaigning. And
get
obviously
some policies sorted out.
Yeah, so he thought exactly. So he thought he couldn't, he wasn't going to get in with New Zealand first because of his association with Destiny Church, and then he went straight to hitting me up to go. But I got heaps of messages begging me to fucking talk to David and all of that, and obviously because I'm I'm nephew, we're gonna let's save the country. All right, sweet as, I'll help you. Yeah.
Oh, next minute. Jeez, Nick changing parties as he changes his undies, I think, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, brother, that's right.
Far out. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with me, bro. I gotta have a look at that. I'm just trying to process that now and go, who the heck does that? New Zealand first, blinking ACT, blinking the Opportunity Party, blinking the
opposite party of what you're doing.
The opposite, yeah. I was trying to get everywhere.
And that's no shade on David or Kulai, because I'm the one that's shade on me, really, because I'm the one that asked him for the conversation.
You made the introduction,
Yeah, I just made the introduction, and then said Afi, if need be, if you need George to get up to speed with whatever, do interviews and that.
This is a warning for anybody else out there: be careful of your messages. any request from Mr. Ngatai? Can you introduce me to so and so? But yeah, nah, cuz.
Or my shout out, my bro Cam. He rang me just before I got on here, and he's like, brother, you were gonna? Like, yeah. He goes, bro, I just seen your video, and I thought, oh, should have been nice to the brother.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he started. Holy hiccup.
Yeah, should have been nice to the brother. Now you're gonna feel the he meant the way he reckons. Oh, lyric. And for me, bro, I was just like, you could be like, oh, why are you putting all this stuff out? Cause, bro, I just feel like, bro, I told him you're gonna come out you literally just they were just treating us like peasants, brother, pretty much, and getting us to do heaps of stuff like that. That obviously that's another example of stuff.
Bro, that's work. It's money.
Yeah, and then
voluntary
even
work.
because that's all my connections that are going and building in that. Yep. Otherwise you'd go and have the conversation yourself if you had them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the same again with And that's no shade again. I thought when David, you said like David and that coming on, like even David, I thought because he was late yesterday, I thought, oh, maybe he might have had a slip because I put that phone thing up. But that was just not his fault. He's just like having a corridor about a potential candidate. Nothing wrong. And then, but he was just late, brother. That's all. He didn't look at his calendar, and then he was like, sorry, bro. And then I was talking with the bro Jimothy and Tama at the same time, so I just added him in with the boys when he came because he'll be still joined. But like, I give him props, bro. Like he's always willing to come for a yarn, G. Like
it seems like it. Like I haven't followed him closely, but I've listened to him speak when people from, whether it's from anywhere, people with other TV hosts on mainstream media. I think is it Tova? Tova?
Oh, Tova, yeah, Tova.
Yeah, he's met with her, like he's rattling off all these statistics. His responses and stuff just seem to me like, again, I don't know the guy, seem very calm, very considered, like backed up with what was the one Tova was talking about, giving all these race-based statistics. More than 50% or 60% population in prisons is Maori, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, we're not about trying to. Why are we trying to essentially segregate or define people by race when we're trying to get the needs analysis and all that sort of stuff based on the person's need, regardless of what race they are.
Need-based.
Yeah, needs-based. That's what he was saying.
I agree with that, brother. I agree with like.
So do I. When I heard
it, why not fix needs? Like if Māori are, well, then that portion needs to be sorted out. Towards those needs.
But not have the bloody sook about it,
brother. Because and you've worked in like an iwi space before, like. Maori have access to more funding than any other ethnicity in this country.
As far as I'm aware, yeah. They got a lot of access to a lot of stuff.
It's true. And like, what I mean? Because we're Maori, okay, which is, okay, all right, whether you like it or not, that's what it is. So, like, we shouldn't even be leading in all these statistics. Eventually, we should start to see some decline somewhere, surely.
Yeah. That's
and if not, what's going on here?
Why are we not? It's crazy, bro. It's like they follow and then even some of the other stuff. You did a reaction. They follow with the mataoro all over his face, having a whinge on with Ryan Bridge, I think it was, talking about they're Māori, but they're not whatever. And then you go and you're like, they're not the right type of Maoris.
Like, that's what he's saying, really. That's not our kind of Māori.
That's what it sounds like. I was like, what the truck is this fella on? Like having a whinge still, bro, I can't get over. It frustrates me. Yeah, just bro, get over that, man. Get over that. Get over that colonization, blinking.
It doesn't affect us today, brother.
Yeah, I know. But look at the blessings that have come from, like I wasn't there in those times, right? I could understand back in those times. We feel that, but we're in a different time now, man. And there's a lot of good that's come from, dare I say, colonization. People will go, that's blasphemy, but there is. That's the truth of it.
Take off your colonizer's hat and get off your colonizer's TV show. Like go put your real talk, much love, but go put your grass skirt on and go back to the marae then, rivalry, and go live like that.
Head back out into the bush, hard,
and I won't fault you. I'll say you're a real one because you're living in the bush. You're living it your own way. You're standing on your whenua too much.
Yeah,
but even him, like, you can't go on and talk when like your father-in-law's John Tamihirekas, like, and he's the leader of your party.
Yeah,
and I think Paul Henry said one of the best ones. How many Te Pāti Māoris are there now?
Well, I don't know.
Taku to left, got kicked out, and
has he formed his own?
Yeah, he's independent, and then Maria Mino formed her own Te Tai Tokeru. So,
hell, can't keep up with it all, man.
Yeah, hard. So, are they not the right type of Māori too, Renata? What are you?
Oh man, and I think what they're doing, obviously, it just seems to add more weight to me in terms of what I hear Seymour talk about. Like, let's just try and put some of this race stuff, if not all of this race stuff, behind and look at the needs of the country. Look at, bro, that's what I want to ask you, bro. What do you, what have you speak with a lot of people in that political space? You've got, and I mentioned to you, probably not many people have been able to hold my attention when it comes to politics. So you've probably been the catalyst for me in terms of me even doing some reactions, to stuff and looking into it.
I've seen you doing those. I've seen you doing.
just for my own benefit, so that I can get a better understanding. I don't know if I'll be voting coming up this election. I hope to be, but I want to be able to be in a position whereby I cast my vote, be able to speak about it, and be comfortable with it.
You're going to actually talk about who you're voting for and why?
Yeah, people have asked me, they're going, oh, who would you vote for? And I need to be, personally, I need to be at the stage where I know who I'm voting for and why I'm doing it. I'm nowhere near that. I'm nowhere near being able to.
What do you need to get there? What do you need to get there?
Oh, I'd love to know what their policies are about and why they're.
Well, that's what it should. That's what you should be voting for.
Yeah,
like how much money are they doing? Yeah. What's the?
And then wanting to see a bit of a track record. Where and when have they followed through on the things that they've spoken about before? You know, just doing a bit of, for my own thinking, rangahau and understanding of these different groups, because there's so many of them. Before I even get there, so I've openly shared into some of my lives. It's like, I don't know if I'll be at the stage whereby, because I'm not doing everything. Like, my whole time isn't spent on researching these political parties. I'll do that in between. Like, that's sort of a side project. And I was saying, I don't think me not voting this year is going to be drastic to the economy of Aotearoa. I haven't voted the last 20 years, so what the bloody hell's another year going to mean?
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. It's not going to change much, eh?
No, but I'm keen to personally to get into that. So my question to you is, in and around, have you voted before? Who have you voted for, and sort of what's your take? Where are you leaning to, if anywhere, in this upcoming election, and why?
Okay, first answer: have I voted before? No, I've never voted.
Okay,
before.
All right.
Funny, that's easy. Funny, because people are like, "What are you talking about it then?" And I'll tell you why I haven't voted before. Well, majority of my adult life's been spent in Australia, so I sort of wasn't. And also, I was like, just.
Did you ever vote over there?
No, I'm not Aussie.
Yeah, but then with the residency and all that sort of stuff, you didn't. Nah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
No, but that not at all.
All right.
Could you vote as a resident over there?
Yeah.
Did you vote over there?
Nah. Oh, I voted. I was a citizen. I voted once.
Oh, you're Aussie citizen. Oh, yeah. You even gave your life for that country, mate. Yeah.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to give it, but yeah.
Grateful. I'm grateful too, because now we're here, and potentially, without the help of Radio Aotearoa, we may be going around the world, doing a little thing or two here and there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't voted. That's cool. Are you looking into voting here in NZ in terms of?
No, I registered. I registered on the general first time, so I will vote first time this year. Who am I voting for? Where am I leaning?
If you want to, don't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I will vote. I just don't know. Like, I think it's too early, brother. Like, let's see what the policies are. Let's see what sort of sits with me. And also, like, people sort of feel a certain way because of, the content that I put up. Like, like, Shubz is going to tell people who to vote for. I'm not telling you who to vote for at all, bro. Vote, like even people that write in there, I'm voting Te Pāti Māori. I'm like, good on you, cuz. Like, vote for whoever you want. Do your thing. I'm like, too much, cuz. Like, I think they think that's like a diss to me. Like, I'm voting Te Pāti Māori because I'm Maori. Like, same Shubz. I'm like, too much, cuz. Good on you. Like, that doesn't affect me one bit. Like, vote for whoever. Like, just because. It's like not everyone goes for the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, that don't mean I don't like you because you don't go for the Warriors. It's just stupid. Yeah,
I think a lot of the
thing. It's a popularity contest, which is weird.
Well, that's what it seems like, and I think part of the reasons, a couple of things that stand out for me in terms of why I never voted. One, I was just lazy. Like, I just could not be bothered looking into it. It just didn't interest me. It never had interest, or never did interest me, so I just didn't bother looking into it. So I didn't vote, and I wasn't the type of person to vote just because my mate or one of the bros or auntie or uncle were going to vote for a certain person. So I was like, no, I'm not voting. And the other one was I just didn't have the confidence or the trust in any of the groups, because it just seemed like every year, they just, how they just whinge and moan at each other. Like, oh, your Labour Party said they'd do this and they can't do that. And then another party will come out with a policy in regards to thing. And then the other party will put that down and rip it to shreds and say, that's rubbish and that's going to impact this and impact that. And then at the same time, they talk about, we want to work together in partnership, in collaboration with this employer. You fellas can't even show us that you can work together in Parliament. Apparently you've got degrees and you're fairly brainy people. Why don't you get the different finance ministers or treasurers come together and work out a plan that will be beneficial for the whole country? Why don't you get the defense ministers and whatever, the shadow ministers and primary prime ministers, whatever, of the different areas, housing, property, etc., and then collaborate and partner together to come up with the plans that you think will benefit the country. Instead, they just look to tear each other down. So those, I was like, yeah, there's nobody I want to vote for. They just look and sound like eggs.
Okay, so that's where you're at the moment. Yeah.
So are you? Oh, yeah, you go. What do you want to do?
No. What are you gonna ask me something? Go.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you about basically, are you, because you're enrolled, have you got an idea? Is there anybody standing? Like, I would say, my question to you is, you seem to spend a bit of time having a chat with David. You've liked some of the stuff that he shared. Are you leaning towards ACT Party at all, you reckon? Or don't know yet?
Am I leaning towards ACT Party? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Everyone's open. Who knows? The Greens might change my mind by the time the election comes around.
I want to talk to you about the Greens, actually.
Okay, talk about it, brother.
There's a fella there, ex-Kiwi SAS.
Yeah, you know that fella?
Josh Jacobson, MG. No, I don't know him personally. No, he was there. I would have already been in Australia by the time he was there.
Oh, yeah, in the baby.
But yeah, interesting guy. Seems like a very intelligent guy. Ex-Navy, ex-NZSA. Josh Jacobson, MG should be after his name, but he doesn't put that on there. But yeah, Greens. Great. What do you know about the Greens? I know truck all about the Greens.
Oh, I know that the old Greens used to be very environment focused and all of that, like sort of aligned with Greenpeace, that organization, but they save the whales and whatnot. Today's Greens aren't the same. They're more worried about people's pronouns and stuff like that.
Pay me,
all that kind of stuff, and just taking money off everybody that goes and that's the thing, like they tax the rich and super rich, and let's tax them all. Like I mean, do you think? But it's like people are jealous of people being successful, and also those rich people employ people, hey, and they bring money and pay taxes in this country. You know what I mean?
And if they try to minimize paying the amount of tax that they're paying, bloody good on them.
But
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I just don't hate on someone else's pocket because they got it. I think it's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think because I'm not I'm a bit like up in the air about the whole Jewish hate, like the whole. I think also, like, remember, so Jews used to be bankers because those were actually low level jobs way back in the Ra. Way back in the Ra, they were like, bum jobs, and then when they obviously started controlling everything, then people started hating. I don't know if it's like they're just hating on rich people. What's that? Like the Rothschilds and stuff. I don't know, brother. I never worked for no billionaire. You have, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I worked for a wannabe one that was for free volunteer. No.
On a voluntary basis.
Yeah, on a voluntary basis.
Want to utilize your networks and your connections that you built, and and by the way, can you just like tato, hey, this mahi that you're doing for us here?
To be honest, it was just aho, brother, and it wasn't me.
Hey,
yeah. What's your next question? Did you have another question? Greens. So on the Greens are I just think they're like focused on like pronouns and all of that, but I get it. Like, those fellas are going to vote for you, obviously, and that. But if you don't know what a woman is, I just think you're weird. I don't know.
And that's a good point. We'll come to that, especially with the WNBA stuff, which you've probably seen.
Let's go.
When do the policies and stuff come out for people to? Are the policies out now? Do you know when the policies come out for voters?
It's up to them.
Okay. So do they? Yeah. Okay.
Well, they keep announcing them all the time, like every week. Well, like parties like ACT Party be announcing them every week, even multiple times a week. So New Zealand First got quite a few out there. Nationals, got a few. Labours, Greens want to give Maori like marae, like $2.4 billion.
For what?
For being emergency evacuation centres, but
in times of crisis, utilising.
But I mean, they're not the only places that are emergency evacuation centres during times of crisis. There's plenty of others.
Schools,
it seems like some more DEI stuff. So it seems like some more race-based funding, guys. For me, like our people who ain't doing good with it, so why should they get it? And I'm just down with everyone being equal, because everybody. That's what I'm down with. Like everybody, no matter who's your grandmother or grandfather, if you're Kiwi and all of that stuff. I do like. What I do like was I like that New Zealand First are saying that they
citizens.
Citizens should only vote. But then
Yeah,
I
I
had
like
Hannah
that.
Tamaki on. I had Hannah Tamaki on yesterday, and then she said that like they ran with that policy a couple of elections ago for Vision New Zealand, and she's like, "Oh, good to see other people using it too." So yeah.
How was it received back then when they did it? When she said
Oh, I
that they...
didn't ask. We started talking about life in Tokoroa, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
like that's mind blowing to me, that people could be here, just be a permanent resident, and or just be on a visa without an expiry date for 12 months. So permanent resident for 12 months, or be on a visa without an expiry, and they for 12 months, and they can vote.
Okay.
Here in NZ, it's crazy.
How do we do this share screen, brother? Share screen.
Yeah. Share screen. Go on.
All right, let's go share screen. How do I do it so that like because when on that other one we weren't on it,
Nah, it was just
Oh, okay. So I'll figure that out here. But let's go over here. Let's go over here, and then we'll.
Oh, there he is again.
There he is over here.
Oh, the announcement.
Hi folks, George Ngatai here. After careful consideration, I've decided to step down as the New Zealand First candidate for Papakura.
You said that!
This is an incredibly difficult decision because I wanted to represent Papakura, win the electorate and help deliver a strong party vote for New Zealand First.
Whoa, my God!
But there is more to my decision than recent social media commentary, and I believe I owe the party, my supporters and the public an explanation. Earlier this year, there was a period of considerable uncertainty about whether I would have the opportunity to stand as a candidate for New Zealand First.
He's talking about it like a month
It was
ago.
personally disappointing, and during that period, I considered what other options might exist. A member of my team, Mātea Wekepa, made contact with people outside New Zealand First, and some private communications occurred about possible alternatives. Those discussions never developed into a meeting or a commitment by me to another political party. Ultimately, I was given the privilege of representing New Zealand First in Papakura, and that is where I put my energy and my commitment over the past weeks. Looking back, I recognise that even exploring alternatives during that period created communications which could later be taken out of context. I should have appreciated that when you actually seek public office, even conversations occurring during a period of uncertainty can have consequences. Many people have experienced that themselves. What I did not anticipate, though, was that private communications from that period would subsequently become part of a much more serious dispute. Over recent weeks, communications were received which we interpreted as linking demands for money, with the prospect of private information being released publicly. That changed the situation completely. In fact, what I initially regarded as a disagreement involving Radio Aotearoa and voluntary work was no longer, in my view, simply a broadcasting or commercial dispute. The nature of the communications caused us to become concerned about whether we were dealing with potential harassment, potential blackmail, or even extortion.
Oh, come on!
Those are serious words, and I use those words carefully. I am not saying that any individual has been found to have committed those offences. That determination belongs to the appropriate authorities. Relevant messages, voice communications and other material, or in Shub's words, receipts, have therefore been preserved and referred to the New Zealand Police so they can be independently assessed what occurred and determine whether any offence has been committed. I also actually want to make sure our position is obviously absolutely clear. My wife, myself, and the organisations we are responsible for will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated, and we will not be blackmailed into silence. We do not accept that we have acted unlawfully in dealing with these matters. We saw this as a volunteer staffing situation where we believe conduct directed towards us raises serious questions of potential criminal wrongdoing. We will preserve the evidence, report it to the appropriate authorities and seek accountability through the proper processes. But neither my wife nor I will be frightened into silence because someone threatens reputational, political, or commercial consequences. Please be assured we will follow this through the appropriate legal challenges and channels.
Good to see. I hope so.
These matters were escalated against the backdrop of recent issues involving the Manurewa local board and concerns raised by my wife and the whistleblower. Information related to those matters has previously been taken to the appropriate authorities as well. Since those concerns were raised, the situation has become increasingly personal, including commentary and information involving my wife, myself, and people associated with us. We have received information from third parties concerning possible connections between some of these matters. However, information supplied by an informant is not proof, and I will not present it publicly as established fact. My wife should be able to raise legitimate concerns involving local government without being subjected to intimidation or personal attacks. Likewise, anybody who disagrees with her allegations or actions is entitled to respond and provide their own evidence. That is how accountability should work. This is ultimately why I have made the decision to stand down today. I could remain a candidate and spend the coming weeks defending myself, explaining private conversations and responding to allegations online. But that would make the Papakura campaign about George Ngatai rather than New Zealand First. I am not prepared to do that to the party. I recognise the confidence that the Right Honourable Winston Peters, our party president, and New Zealand First subsequently placed in me. I do not take that confidence lightly. You know, sometimes an apology is demonstrated by the decisions you make rather than the words you use. For me, stepping aside means accepting responsibility for the circumstances I can control, dealing properly with those I cannot, and ensuring that the party is not required to carry a distraction that belongs with me. I want to actually acknowledge the Right Honourable Winston Peters, our party president, and the New Zealand First board, my fellow candidates, members, and also our volunteers. I'm grateful for the opportunity you gave me. I know how much work goes into selecting candidates and running a nationwide election campaign. Every hour, though, that is spent responding to questions about George Ngatai is an hour that should be spent talking to New Zealanders about the issues that most matter to them. New Zealand First deserves to campaign on its record, on its policies and vision for the country, without continually answering questions and about circumstances involving one candidate. That is again why I am stepping aside today. I make no finding of wrongdoing against Mātea Wikepa or Shubz, the Manurewa local board member Phyllis Latu, and any councillors or any other persons. There are communications in our position and information provided to us by others, so-called receipts. Those matters need to be properly examined. Everyone named is entitled to respond to the allegations and prove them themselves. I will provide relevant material to the New Zealand Police and cooperate with whatever process follows. I also ask everyone supporting me not to attack, not to threaten, not to harass or abuse anyone associated with these matters. Please do not fight this through social media on my behalf. Let the evidence, or in Shub's words, the receipts, speak for themselves. Let everyone have the opportunity to respond. Let police and the appropriate authorities establish the facts, and where wrongdoing is established, hold those people responsible and accountable. To everyone who's door knocked on doors, delivered material, put up signs, attended meetings, donated, volunteered, or simply stopped me in the street, I want to say thank you. I am deeply sorry that I will not finish this campaign alongside you. I wanted to win Papakura, but there are moments when personal ambition has to give way to something much larger. For me, that moment has arrived. My attention now must turn to my family, our organisations, and dealing properly with these matters that have been referred to the police. New Zealand First must be free to concentrate on winning votes and securing the strongest possible representation in the next Parliament. I remain grateful to Winston Peters and the party family for giving me the opportunity to carry the party's banner in Papakura. The interests of the party must now come first. And as I've been saying for the past few weeks, party vote New Zealand First.
Oh, well, you're the first reporter on the scene, brother. Ask away.
We didn't get a chance to ask him any questions. I mean, with the stuff that he's talking about, if you're looking to get into politics, you're going to be facing scrutiny and questions every trucking day. So the fact
that's the job. That's the job.
That's the job. And as it should be. And so if you are running for candidacy or whatever the blinking term is for where he's running to run, it's going to be about the policies. It's going to be about him no matter what. There's no clean slate, perfect record where reporters, people aren't going to come and start asking you about things from the past. It's just not gonna happen. People are still going to get confronted with those types of questions. Listening to him, he's obviously taken the time to write out this statement and give it a read there. What is he saying? Trying to, I guess, appears that he wants to be, and he's probably genuine, doesn't want any, I guess, hate or people trying to fight this on his behalf. I'd be interested to know who's trying to fight it on his behalf. But what it sounds like he's given information, he's got receipts or relevant information given to the authorities, which I'm assuming is the police, whoever that is, if it is the police, and extortion.
Extortion. Yeah,
extortion. A whole bunch of stuff there. So is he directing that at you, sending him messages trying to extort him for money? Yeah. And is that what you've tried to do?
Well, it depends. What's extortion? Me asking to be paid? Like, can you pay us $500 a week? If that's extortion, then
and is that after how many weeks or months of work have you put in before?
Like 4 months by then, I think. About 4 months.
4 months by then.
And plus hours of work, including work for them outside of the scope of being a volunteer. All like way outside of the 15 hours just on the radio. Everything.
There's a whole bunch of work.
Wait. But like, ask whatever questions you want, my brother, right now. And you're the first journalist on the scene right now for the other side.
And so how long ago did you?
Was it?
How long ago did you start asking him to pay? Can I get paid $500 a week? How long ago was that, or was this just recently?
Probably like, I don't know exactly. Probably like a month ago.
But you've been working for
maybe. Oh no! Actually, we talked about, if you're talking about the first time, I actually talked to him about it. I think the second week I was on radio, bro, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll just wait till Speedy signs," which is the advertising business, until that's sorted. And then, because I go, "Oh, could you just sort our rent out, just sort that out?" And he said, "Yeah, we'll sort that out." And then at another meeting in May, so months ago,
months ago. But 2 weeks into your job, you had a verbal agreement about we'll get you paid once Speedy signs the Lincoln sign making company.
So he owns one of those, the one in Kingston. So once that gets, they've just hired this new guy. Once he's on and rolling, because
was there any time frame given to that for what this new guy's?
He said 3 weeks. So he said
say a month. Let's give him a month. 2 weeks into the job, another month goes by. That's 6 weeks, a month and a half. Have you ever been paid?
No, I did get we did get a one-off payment of $500 between Corina and I. So all up 500 between us both went to Corina and into her account. Yeah.
How long ago?
A month ago.
Month ago, and
just a one-off payment.
Month ago, and you've been working for how long for radio?
Well, this will be now. Would be like yesterday, obviously, because we got cut off yesterday, so it'll be 91 days, weekdays straight, 127 days, brother. Like working on weekends. I never had a day off, brother. You know, because even the content was to help grow the station. That was part of the agreement. Even in the proposal that I sent in, that he was like, "Yep." Yeah.
There's lots of work going into even just in a little YouTube channel like mine. You're still working.
But so I'm posting it on, and I'm posting mine on like 8 different platforms, brother. You know.
Which I'm not doing. So there's a lot of work. I can understand it. People that have got an understanding of even
plus just going to all the political things and making all those connections and all of that stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Seen you at some of those, and you've got the video footage and stuff, and you hear
all of that
your voice.
Was to help grow the show, grow the station, and all of that.
Yeah, the presence and all that sort of thing. And so for all of that, you've received
ownership from $1,500 payment. Now, don't get me wrong. We also got a fuel card. We had a fuel card with the vehicle. With a vehicle as well. But the fuel card was only $80 a week, and we come from West Auckland to South as we. And that costs like about $50, sometimes more, because of the cost of fuel.
That's still not putting pie on the table.
It's not. And then there was one offer, an offer to go and eat at their restaurant, which would cost even more to go out of the way to eat at once a day.
Yeah,
for $25 each at the coffee club, which we did for a bit to when we started, like the first probably a couple of weeks. But then like it was just time wise, we had to go out of our way to go back to go there. So it was sort of like, so we didn't end up keep going. But like grateful for that. There was other things. He said he'd pay our bills, like he'll pay our Wi-Fi.
Did that happen?
All these other, no, that happened. No way.
So no rent was paid.
No rent was paid, brother. Just one $500 payment. One-off
for this whole time
payment to Corina and I, between Corina and I.
Yeah. You got to split it $250 each or whatever.
Oh, it's just
gotcha. Whatever. Wow, that's interesting. So. Is this fella? He's good at. Well, I don't know about good at.
Well, obviously, he probably would have been a good politician. Like he did that very well. Because I think part of being a politician, from what I'm understanding, of some of them, you just got to be able to just talk bullshit with a smile.
Just lie.
No.
But what is good news though?
What's that?
No, I was just doing a Lux Tard one there. But what is good news? We've created 13,000 jobs. Yeah, but you got 170,000 out of work, mate. And then that was his deflection from that. But what is good news is we've created 13,000 jobs. Yeah, I don't think you're getting it.
Yeah. So that's the whole situation there, brother. With
interesting.
Well, there's heaps of more layers to it, but like volunteer. So, you can say volunteer, but under law, like they're not even like under law. We're not even, and not only that, the best workplace bully dude is has said we got a huge case and is taking it for free. So, like, what are you on about, bro? You know what I mean? Like,
so this is under litigation and stuff at the moment. There are lawyers and stuff involved.
Well, it's just got to. We've sent all the stuff. He said you've got a case. Like, I don't know if he's sending everything off yet.
And when you say sending off all the stuff, what sort of stuff is it? Because it sounds like there was no contract.
No. So all the comms between like all the requests of things to do. Like
gotcha.
Like all of the stuff around the local board, all of the stuff around transcripts and magazines, all stuff that was outside of the scope of 3 hours on radio Monday to Friday. Everything.
And so that was in an email comms.
Email comms, even email comms where he's emailing Corina to tell her that, hey, the police are coming here for like his police connection to run this interview with you and the whistleblower, like all of that shit. Like that ain't our job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
And then not only that, him going online on Facebook and going, our journalists, because we own Radio Aotearoa, our journalists that do so much mahi for us and all of this, like all of those comms, brother, doesn't match up with what you're saying, Cus.
And so when you're just going back to the police officer, and he's going to come do the interview with you and Corina.
No, not me, Corina.
Oh, with Corina. Okay. That's in relation to all this raru that's happening at the moment.
No, that wasn't that. That was to do with the Marshal Aluwalia, the local board dude. There was.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, his wife's on the local board too. So they told us just don't put out there, just don't put out there that we're the ones that gave you the information or gave you the guy, because they did.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah. Now she's out there, trying to be a darling, like, oh, we're getting threatened by gangs and all of this. This was her last week in the Herald. We're getting threatened by gangs, right? And then the next day or 2 days later, they got their New Zealand First van that they wrapped with Winston Peters and George's face on it, parked at a train station, catching public transport. And George is tall, but like George beating no one up, cuz. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, you can't be that scared of all these gangs and threatening for your life, and you're going to catch public transport 2 days later after going to the Herald. Bullshit.
What's interesting to me, like, I don't know anything about this whistleblowing piece that you've just spoken about. That they had a concern about somebody then, and then instead of
so you know what local borders or no?
No.
Local borders is like the Auckland, because Auckland's so big, they don't have like the city council was above the city council for each like major suburb because they're so huge, or like.
And then they'll have local councils like the
local council. So local borders it's a local city council.
Yeah.
So Papakura and Manurewa, they're one local board.
Okay.
And Raywin's on there. She was 8th on the ticket last year. She was the last place, and then the first place guy, which is Marshall Aluwalia, he took over. That guy's on there too, brother Marshall. Yeah, so Marshall is the one that got. I don't know if you've seen. I put out recordings, bro. Through we got them all through the guy that recorded him extorting him for money for his.
Were these
campaign?
hidden recordings? So they were having these conversations and they just hit record. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then the funny thing is that the dude, the sis actually knew him. The sis Corina actually knew the guy that was whistleblowing. She didn't know that he was whistleblowing until she met up with him and realized it was her. A guy that she used to teach his kids. Yeah, this Chinese dude. So he was outing this other dude for extorting him for money. So he worked for this company, this trucking company, and then he was employed by the trucking company just to give out jobs, but he was charging them extra, like back pocketing money.
Yeah.
And also promising them like visas and stuff. Like, you'll get your sign to give you a green card and all of that. Yeah. So, yeah, but like, and he was wanting money for his political campaign, right?
And this is the guy that was already at the top of the list.
Yeah, the top of the list. They're all in the same team, Manurewa Action Team.
Right.
All under Daniel Newman, which is the councillor under Auckland City Council. There's 2 ward councillors for that area, and so they're like under the mayor, and then under them is that local board. And there's Matt Winiata and Daniel Newman. Daniel Newman's been on our show, talked about it a lot, even Matt Winiata asked him questions. But yeah, and then Raywin's on that local board for Manurewa. On the Manurewa one, and then there's another Papa good one, so she's the Manurewa local board, 8th on the ticket, number 1. So we called them out, outed them, brother, did it all for them. But what I started to realize, and I realized it then, but I thought maybe this is for because they got a good heart, they want to help our people, because this is my head, like, let's help our people, let's change the game and make sure funding goes to the right place and all of this stuff. That was the dream they were selling me and Corina, so because then he said, he's on Māori Council, so Māori Council controls a lot of shit in Te Ao Māori, and especially like certain funding and contracts and all different things. So he said, I'll get off Māori Council once I get into Parliament, and then you get on, which was my bro Jimothy. You jump on here, you run for Manurewa, and then you Shubz, you get on this board, and this was the whole idea. And then I'm thinking, oh, we're going to do this for the people,
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh no, we're not. Yeah, we're doing it for their pocket, because they've had their whole business is built off of government contracts, brother. Like, they have whānau order community clinic, which is doctors and all that, but it's all built off of, it all begun off of funding that was like slated to go to Māori things, and they took it and then they just had access to government contracts. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sent it to the police. They have police contracts too, brother. So, but I'm not scared. What have I done? And what are you going to sue me for? What money do I got to sue you? Pay me anything. You know what I mean?
But that whole
also, for me to get done for like what are going to give me harassment? I don't care, brother. Like, I don't care, because for me, the voice of the people, like being willing to stand up and when things aren't right. And if you're a freedom of speech person like you say you are, then what I say shouldn't even matter. Otherwise, you're all shit.
But the story, the genesis of that story, didn't come from you. It came from your auntie.
It came from Raywin.
Yeah, it came from
the local board member.
To somehow made its way to you to then say, hey, can you broadcast this?
Yeah, well,
is that
through Corina?
Right?
To Corina,
yeah.
To Corina, and then Corina. I told Corina, all right, this is how we're gonna do it. I got all the info. She sent me the voice recording. I listened to them, used my little non-genius brain, and said, all right, what we'll do is I'll call it out this way. I'll start the video, and then go find another fucking local board video. And
Yeah.
then I said, and then you film a video because you went and met with the dude, and then she realized you knew him, and tell your side of it, and then we'll put them together and put it out there. And then next minute, went to the serious fraud office and all of this stuff. Another thing that's crazy too, Corina, Raywin, and the guy Jackie Chan, they were the whistleblower, because they got another whistleblower too. So there's a photo that's gotten showing all of these. What they also did is they rigged the votes so they'll go and take them out of the mailboxes, and then they were they had them all, and then they'll go and tick the boxes and then go and put the envelopes at the post office or whatever, so they could win the. No, Puno. That's what happened. So it went on the Herald last week. It went in the Herald last week, but Raywin put it in the Herald.
Raywin put it in the Herald.
Yeah, Raywin put it in the Herald last week, and that's when she put in with the article about being bullied and all of that stuff, and being like, that's their number one line, being bullied, like being bullied there. So I asked for, can you pay $500 a week just to total us while we keep grinding and building this? And then they go no, and then they start pushing and going, oh, there's something, you've got to worry about your mental health. Go get on the benefit. Can hear it's getting to you. Hold on, you're not fucking listening to me. You know what I mean? And then I start getting like that, like you're not fucking listening to me. Yeah, like I could literally take your whole political campaign, which I just did. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I think what it is too is I've had so many people reach out to me that have been like shat on by them, brother, across all of, like, they're members of Destiny Church. So many through Destiny Church reached out, bro. We looked at them as like, because they shouted Brian and that, so many things. We thought they're good people, worked for them for free, ripped off. My daughter got ripped off, my dad, and receipts. And I was like, and then I started realizing, because I started doing videos because I got hoha saying, this is day whatever of not getting paid on radio. And because I started doing those videos, then people started reaching out and going, hey, this is happening to you too, is it, brother? Well, look at this, and then this, and there's so many. And then I was like, holy Rick, this is just what they do.
Was that the catalyst for you to start speaking with them about,
yes.
Hey? Okay.
No. What actually, no. The catalyst was I started, because I had those conversations and then they weren't listening, brother. And then I started looking back at the receipts of our chat and our comms. The comms only came up about us because they created this group chat, which I retitled Worker Exploitation. It used to be called the Māori Murdochs because we were going to be the Māori Murdochs of media. That was a dream I was sold anyway. I have a dream. Gave me that Martin Luther King speech, and like a little ninja, I just went down there and went to work. But anyway, I renamed it Worker Exploitation from Māori Murdochs. I just started realizing, looking back at the comms, like, they only reach out to us when they want us to do something, like in that thing. They don't really care about our mental health. And then they try to play the whole mental health card on you. And then that's what heaps of people have reached out to me saying, as soon as they start getting mad or angry, they go, you got mental problems and that. Because they've got contracts for homeless things. They've got contracts for so many things that are like for the impoverished communities. So they'll act like I'm in Manurewa, we're in Papua, we're in South Auckland, looking after the people. It's all government money that you get, like all these contracts that they get, bruh. Like, that's what I realized, because I didn't look into the web. That's my fault. Because then I realized, I was working for my own big papa only. But I didn't realize till too late. So yeah. And of course he's gonna say whatever, and he's entitled to. And he's gonna say, don't attack. Of course you're gonna say this shit. Bro, shut up. This is not, what did he say at the start? This is not just because of things that have happened on social media today. Yes, it is. Because if I didn't post any of that, you'd still be running, cunt. Stop lying.
It's the only reason that it's happening. So who had anything to stand? Who stood to gain from this whistleblowing coming out about the number one candidate and Auntie Raywin being on the list? Is it Raywin stands to benefit by moving up the ladder, or what's the? No,
there's no ladder there. But what it is if they could knock a few. This is only my speculation, right? But from the conversations that I've had. Because he wanted us to start, or to, who do you know anyone that would be good to run on board or local board? They wanted to have the power, brother, because then it gives you contracts, right? It gives you, you can. That's the thing with all these government.
Then you can get your own backhand payments and make your own promises.
Yeah, that's right, brother. That's right, because then you get access to any community money that's coming in, and you're the one that gets to see it. Even in one of the videos, you need it, like, if you want to, brother, because it'll be good, because it's gonna be everywhere, and the Herald and stuff have just started to ring me now. So so it'll be good for you to talk about it, because it'll be sort of in the algorithm at the moment. Go look at my last 3 YouTube videos, like from I think whatever the last.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, have a look and look at those, brother, because then they sort of explain it. But in there's one where he's like, have they voted on the funding yet? Like, it's all about that, brother. Like, that's the whole thing. And like, even when I'm thinking about it, like, this is why people don't want to vote.
This is why people don't want to vote. This is why people can't be bothered looking into it, because you got, by the sounds of things, retards like this that are supposedly for the people, but are just really for themselves. That's what puts people off.
Yeah, because if they were like you say, fully for the people, and this is the thing, I can't call out a John Tamihere and then realize this now about George and not call him 1-2.
Yeah,
100. The only thing with John Tamihere, he pays. He pays, cuz, you know, he pays. and then so when I started calling them out, I wasn't aware of everything yet. No, not calling them out. When I started saying to them, like, I could take your campaign, because I was mad and they're trying to play the mental health card, or you need to get on the benefit. We don't want this to be a pressure for you. It's not a fucking pressure for me. I love talking and doing this. Like, the show wasn't a pressure. It's the fact that I'm starting to see that I'm being like not like taken advantage of. You know what I mean?
Your critical thinking starting to kick in.
Yeah. My blinders of whānau and all of that has come off now, and I'm like, hey, hold on a second.
Yeah, you need one of these, bro. Lincoln, wake up, cuz.
Yeah, that's right, brother. So when I started seeing that, I still hadn't dug into them, and then once I stepped back and realized, they don't even give a damn. Then I started posting videos saying, this is day 104 of not getting paid on radio, and then that's when the people started reaching out to me going, oh, that's happened to you too, Shubz. We didn't know if they were doing it to you or not. And then boom, DMs, cards, calls, boom. And obviously, you got to sift through the information. But when that many people are telling you the same stories, and they got these receipts and their comms, they're showing you their comms between them, and it's all the same stuff that they just won't pay, brother, or they just use you to volunteer. And think about it like this. I told you, 20 years they've been in Destiny Church, right? 20 years Destiny Church. Nothing, no hate towards that. But the thing is, right, 20 years Destiny Church professed that that's what's, made them successful. They've brought Brian and Hannah like a Tesla. They've shouted them on first-class holidays. But it's smart, because optically, people look at them and be like, these are rangatiras, these fellows have changed our life. Let's bless them so they can bless us. You know what I mean? So then all of these people, because they've told me, we've seen them like looking after like apostle or bishop, they call them, and that. And then so we went and helped them, worked for them, and then we realized, we're working for like half a year and for free. And what am I getting out of this? You know what I mean? And that's how they do it.
What sort of work were you doing? What were you doing for them? Like just promoting them or something? Yeah.
Are you talking about me? Me?
Yeah. When you said that you went and you were working for them, or what do you mean?
No, I'm talking about people who were reaching out to us, saying that they were doing all of this stuff.
Okay. They were working for them.
They had the same kind of stories, not on radio and all different parts of their business.
Yeah.
Even some of their workers have reached out and said that they've asked them to go and knock on doors for them for their political campaign, ones that work in their business.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh my. But yeah, they can say whatever, but the police can come with whatever. I don't even care, brother. Like, did I realize that I work for Big Papa One? Yeah, I did. And then I thought, because even when I said to them, brother, I'd go nuclear, I had never even realized that. I was just pissed off that they didn't care. And I was like, I don't think New Zealand First will like that you were talking to David Seymour just before fucking you got announced. Or Kule Wong,
So those chats that you showed and that screen that you shared with old nuts. When was he talking with those guys whilst he was already with New Zealand First?
He's been with New Zealand First for 5 years, brother.
And how recent are those messages, chats? Sorry.
Like
a few weeks.
June. So whenever he was announced, whenever the conference was, I don't know the date like off the top of my head today. Whenever that conference was for New Zealand First, which I went to the gala dinner anyway. We all
under the guise of uncertainty.
Yeah, whenever that was, he got announced as a candidate that weekend. So whenever that was, about 2 to 3 weeks before that. So Stuffle, he was told that he wouldn't be taken because of his association with the church. Which I can understand, because Brian throws heaps of shade at Winston Peters. Whether you like it or not, he does. You know what I mean? So, but to me, it's like, well, you can't serve two masters. Who is it, Winnie P or Brian Tamaki? You know what I mean? And then even people inside the church, because a lot of my family in there too, they're like, what? And not only that, you're also running in Papakura in the same electorate and same seat that Hannah's running in. But you've used this church to gain heaps of things for years and years and years. And now you don't want to support your leader. And I don't know. Yeah, optically, don't look good.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
very convoluted cobweb of things happening in there, bro, in that space.
Oh, 100%, by the way. Any more questions?
Yeah, I do. Not so much about that. I want to shift tack to what were your thoughts on the second failed national coup?
Oh yeah, the second one.
And do you reckon there was anybody else involved aside from just old Pink, or Pinch,
yeah, 100%.
whatever?
I know for a fact there was.
Yeah,
I know for a fact that there were two others that dropped their nuts.
I know
that Pink was just the scapegoat. Pink was the one that got, go get all the go get everyone's votes because he was all keen, and then as soon as because he was the one calling around, next minute when they didn't win the vote, they all dropped sack. Those two dropped sack and fell in line, and the bro got outed for it. I know 100.
So there was 3 people, Pink, and then probably 2 others that wanted to challenge for the position.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you say 100%, is this you can't say who the other people are though, or
just go watch the interviews and it's easy.
I've seen a couple of those. I've seen the Bishop interview, and I've seen the that lady's interview. In terms of them being
maybe you possibly might know who they are. Then
being upset about thing, and then the female saying that she didn't say anything because when she spoke before it was some other rubbish. I was like, oh, okay, but then there's been 2 other people that have come out.
Sounds like you might know who they are.
Well, there was one fella. There's the 2 guys, Paddy Gower, and then another guy that had been interviewed, and the other guy named. He goes, there were at least 5 people, and he named all 5 of them. And those 2, Chris, Bishop, and bloody hell, I forget her name, but he names all of the 5 people that he suspects were part of it. And then
all I know is that I've spoken to, because even within parties, right, there's different factions. I've spoken to all the different factions, and they all gave me the same names, and it all came out just before I put out my video, right before mainstream media released it, that they were saying. Yeah, because the only thing when they were in caucus, you can't put it out, and then I was like, bro, I want to release it first, so like, hey, hit me. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. But what I did was I prepared 2 videos. Just in case it went one way or the other. And,
all right.
So then when it was bang, 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 bang. Yeah, first one of these.
Because I can't imagine
that was actually fun, like a game. Yeah.
I can't imagine that anybody can cause a coup unless they feel like they've got the support of other people within that party. Otherwise, you're just going Lone Ranger, not knowing what everybody else's situation is.
Well, what I tell you now, from my understanding, it wasn't not close. So could have been, but didn't happen.
True.
Let's just say, oh, Joe, you're gonna give me a vote, cuz you get the right to vote. You got you guys. And then the other bro comes around, hey, Joe, you got us the vote. Oh, what you got to pay? Oh, all right, I got you guys. Yeah?
Next minute.
Same as what you saw with them birds, cousin. Oh, kite the pipe. All right, then you got. You
might be like that building alliances on that Survivor, and then going up and then casting their vote and going,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, interesting, bro. That's mad, crazy. Oh, anyway, let's shift topic if you've got time. Unless you need to go to talk with the because you were getting some phone calls or messages.
Oh, I'm getting heaps, but that's right.
Yeah, you sure?
You go. Give me one more question, brother.
Okay, I got a question. Your thoughts on the WNBA and them not allowing Enes Kanter and Royce the opportunity to go and play in the WNBA?
Not a question. Not an answer or not a thought. Just a question. Sorry. Right. I'm just all over the place. What is a woman? That's all. Yeah. What is a woman?
No, but I mean, in line with the WNBA's policy, the only that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. What is a woman? Are you not saying so it's not anymore?
They only have what they've got in there from what Enes Kanter is saying. As long as if you declare yourself as a woman, then you're eligible to play in the WNBA.
That's what I'm saying. So what is a woman?
Yeah, so they haven't changed it. So my thoughts.
Do you know Australia's gone and changed it federally?
Have they? I don't know.
Yeah. They're saying
have they?
They're going to mean like anyone can.
What's the change? Biological or what's
some other people were telling me, and I said I don't know. I don't have the exact, but you have to go do your research on that one.
Okay.
Well, brother, it's been a pleasure. I'll be a shooter.
Likewise. Yeah, all good, bro.
Take care. What a show, my brother. Let's go. Big love, my brother. See you next week.
There, bro.
Hati, my brother. Big love.
All right.
Was goody chat, was goody. What are your thoughts on our little yarn men, the bro Joe? Shout out to the brother Joe Hotai. Jumps in and now we best behavior. Yeah, I don't trust Winston. He blames everyone else for racism and does racist things himself. Huh? What does he? What's that? Self-identity, Leah. Well, Scotty, how are we, fam? What are your thoughts on our? That was literally me and Joe reacting to the whole thing when it came out. Mr. Ngatai, all of that stuff. Me and Joe. Shout out to the bro Joe too. Appreciate that, bro Joe, for coming for a yarn with the Shubz. Mihi matua Joe. That's it. Oh, fam, I'm so used to going to like ads and all that. It's still. Always a good chat with the Joe. Yeah, hard. Shout out to the bro. We could have kept talking too, but. Yeah. Once he said the treaty wasn't democratic, when it is, then goes around the Pacific trying to make deals like he isn't trying to renege. Interesting. Notice the numbers in the chat. Have dropped hard now. Yeah, that's all right, funny. As long as the real ones are there. Dunners, is that you, Puhoi? Who's Dunners? Is Dunners Puhoi? Where's Puhoi gone? Watching, I mean. Oh, yeah. Any breakdown of your thoughts on that whole situation, funny? Or what do you think? What do you reckon? They do. To be honest, John, with this rain, I'm very sore. Who is they? Oh, cheddar they. Kei te pai puhi, kia mutu te mahi ina nei. Oh, yeah. Self-identity. They do that to Māori, they'll do it to you. Never mind the free trade deals that takes our sovereignty away. Ooh, all right, Leah. Not keen on those, whānei. I'm here, bro. Shubz matua more kai, my brother. How you chat? What's goody? Our whānei, give us your thoughts and any ideas, because the show, obviously, we're day 2. Obviously, we're doing this day 2 without being on radio and that, so we're gonna make all those adjustments, whānau, but hit us on here, hit us on that pinned comment if you have any ideas for the show, maybe segments. Also, you might have maybe some ideas of how we can grow, maybe sponsorship opportunities. Hit us in that email, whānau. Sending love and blessings, mister. It sucks what you're going through. What's mister going through, whānau? What's he going? What are you going through now, mister? E pai ana ja, e pēhea ana koe. Up the ja, how's things ja? What's been happening? Yeah, waiting for meant to be catching up with old Neil Waka. Oh, John Tim Tam. Not the Tim Tam chat. I got a bit of a... Wait, can you hear this, family, or no? Might have to turn it down. My heart. Just keep it real, Shubz. Encourage listeners to turn notifications on. Oh, turn your notifications on, Fano. There you go. Turn your notifications on. All those chats you have are good and informative. Turn notifications on. What Leah said. Amateur. What an amateur YouTuber. Hey, Corina, where's Neil Waka? Is Neil Waka due to be on the show? Because I'm out here talking to myself. I don't mind. I'll talk to the chat because these heaps he's talking. But is Neil coming on or what? It was Neil later. Can you get Neil for me? Oh, yeah, right. Carry on. Yeah. 21 years dealing with back injury that happened at work, and I'm consistently screwed, betrayed by the system for help. True. On that point, something that and I don't know if you will remember this, but another part of that conversation or of those conversations where we're insured, go hard. You know what I mean? If you say anything, untoward or anything naughty, just apologize, and then we move on. And then this whole moving from time slots came about from all these complaints about me, but we're never given the opportunity to rectify any of those complaints when that was what was told to us from the start and consistently told to me. So he wanted me to be controversial. He wanted me to push the boat out a bit. There was even one time when what's her name, Mikey Sherman, when she got sick, and the bro Timothy was on, and he said something, and he thought it was okay to say, and then he said it, and all good, and he said it. We just laughed it off, and George was in the studio when it happened, and that was all good. They were safe as he didn't even, it was like, it is what it is. You just apologize and we move on. And then next minute we're told about all these complaints, because I've got all the receipts in the chat. Like all these complaints that are coming, we've never seen them, but never given the opportunity to rectify them, and just told we have to move time slots now. But then it's also confusing because his offsider named Kim Adams, who's been in radio 40 years, used to be on, I think, More FM. He says to George, he goes, to Corina, that it's all about trying to get Shubz onto 7 to 10 to win an award. And then when I meet with George, when I see George at the New Zealand First Gala dinner, he says to me, he says to everybody else, sorry, not to me, because he already knew that I didn't want to move time slots. Yeah, we're going to get him onto another time slot to win awards. And I'm just like, meh. I was just brushing that idea, because I was like, I'm not moving. We just put 5 months into building this damn thing. I'm not moving time slots. Like, we got people that are teed up at that time, all of the work that Corina and I have done, and even the bros that have helped us. Like, no, I'm not. No, Neil hasn't turned up yet. So, the people are listening to me talk, but they don't know who I'm talking to. We're just using my earphones. But yeah, that's the go right there. Do a day in the life. Hey, what's that, brother? Yeah, that's right. Marcus Lush and win awards. But this is the thing though. It's a whole manipulation, because also if you go in the group chat, remember the first thing was that there's been 12 minutes dead air every hour on radio. And then me and Corina are like, what 12 minutes dead air? It's not even possible. Like there's an emotional voice message of me going, that didn't even make no sense. Because it didn't make no sense. Because like 12 hours of dead air, like maybe 12 seconds, like when we're coming in and out of, guests and stuff, possibly 12 minutes was just rubbish. So it started with 12 minutes, and then it went to complaints, and then it went to awards. So which one is it? And then also they kept saying I had to move time slots because the content was too adult for the time slot, but they never ever moved me until obviously I started putting all these receipts out. They just kept saying we've got to do it in the next couple of weeks, or it's going to happen by this date or this date. And I just said to the team, just keep going on, and if they kick us, then they kick us. And they never kicked us until I started unloading the receipts yesterday. No formal complaints were given to me in writing whatsoever. Bullshit. 100%. And not only that, you actually quote this too. Quote this. The statement that they put out yesterday on Radio Aotearoa Facebook, that's the only comms that I've got that I've been sacked or that my show ended or has been stopped on the station. I don't know, like I've never received any email, no text, no call from any of them. That's how I know about it, because the pussies went and put it out on fucking Facebook. And not only that, they try to put it out. That's how me and Corina and our whole team found out that our show was over, was because they put it out as a statement. They haven't like come to us directly at all. It's all around the corner shit. And not only that, George stepped down as CEO of their company he stepped down as CEO of the company, for optics and that, so he could focus on New Zealand first and campaigning. And then, so Raywin took over as CEO, whatever. So Raywin's meant to be the one writing these statements on Radio Aotearoa's page. But if you look in the little bubble underneath, it says posted by George Ngatai. Like it's all just propaganda. Straight up. Oh, rubbish. How are you, Rasta? I know, Whana, you don't like. There's some media that are talking to us right now. There's a media talking to us in here, trying to get our side of the story, which is good. Shout out to mainstream media actually trying to get our side of the story. But yeah, so, and I was waiting for Neil Waka to come and talk. So, here he is, the great Neil. Jamabara, Kate to be here.
Kate, wait.
How's things been? It's been a bit hectic around here, my brother.
Sounds like it. Holy moly.
We'll keep it going. Keep it going right now.
Famous. Hey, I was just becoming famous then. Whoop, gone.
No, not even. You're becoming more famous now. There's more. There's even more people. I think yesterday we had over 12K people through the stream yesterday. So even more people coming through all the different streams. So you're more famous now. No.
Hey, what?
First of all, my brother, how's your week been?
Yeah, where are we? Wednesday. It's good. It's always busy. A lot of things going on. So, how about you? What the hell?
Well, actually, let's flip it your way. You asked me the questions. You asked me the part-times.
Yeah. So, you chose at that moment to make a statement, right? You chose at that moment to reveal that you weren't looked after. What made you decide to do that at that point?
What made me I like this. This is good. You must have done this before. Okay.
I got you.
What made me decide to do this now? Well, it's just been months and months of not being heard, bro, and our team being just mucked around, infrastructure not being in place to deliver like the onboarding side of the advertising, all of these promises, so many like things that were promised, and then I start looking back and I'm like, why have all the wording changed? You said you're gonna do this, and we put in it every day, cuz like it was 127 days we put into their station straight. That includes 4 to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, even on weekends and mornings, like creating content and all of that to grow the channel, all of that stuff. So to grow the station and that. So, and then all I did was reach out, and then they try to flip it on me and say, obviously I got mental health. Just because I asked for a bit of a koha. I didn't even ask much. I just asked for, could you get a little whahana to pay the rent?
Look, because that's understandable, right? Because we all got to live, and there's obviously money coming in somewhere for something. Otherwise, it's not a business, right? And the opportunity to have this operating, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I'm going to say I don't really believe this, because Māori always look after Māori. We know that's not the case, and Māori get upset at us if we say that type of thing, but the reality is it doesn't always happen that way. It doesn't always happen that way, and someone somewhere is usually making some coin or something, and they're not doing the right thing. And I've said to you many times that the culture is people, the people is culture. If you look after your people, then that changes the dynamic. And if you're not looking after your people, like looking after, not just giving a platform, but looking after you, if you're not looking after people properly, then things aren't going to go as well. And when you look after your people properly, things will go a lot better, and they'll turn around because people want to do that for you. They want to do it for the kaupapa. They want to do it for whatever the situation is. How have you found the feedback since then?
Like people feeling sorry. I don't put it out for people to feel sorry for me. I put it out to be like, this is the go. Like, and also I feel like, because you actually don't care. And not only that, what actually did make me push it out, brother, more was the amount of people that actually reached out to me that they had been done hard by, bro, and showing me like receipts of them their own stuff that had been happening to them like over the years from the same people. Then I was like, oh hell. And you're talking about Maori not caring about Maori. Well, those Maoris weren't caring about those Maoris because the majority of them were Maori, and they had got stuffed over the same. And they're like, Shubz, if it's happening to you. Because a few weeks back, I started saying I think it was 104 of not getting paid on radio. So I started doing that, and then people started reaching out to me. And then I started looking into the web of all of this thing. And then I started saying, I think you might be similar to some of these other ones that I've called out, but I've been so blind because you're my whanaunga.
And that hurts more, right? That hurts more.
Oh yeah, and that's also why I was so blind and why I was just like, let's go. Because even today I'm getting texts saying, I told you. I told you. Yeah, told you, man. But I was like, yeah, but they tell me, but it's sort of like, when you're so tunnel vision on like, hey, we're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be me. So
see, there's a few things in here, right? One of the things is communication is really important. If you're in an organization and you have people working for that organization, everything comes down from the top. So if the top is doing well and looking after people, that flows down. If the top isn't always looking after people, then people become unhappy. And this isn't just a little bit unhappy. If you're not being looked after, if they're not, there's some money that is obviously coming in, there's advertising and so forth. So where is that money going? Where is it going? And why aren't you looking after your people?
Yeah. But that's what got me there, brother, was everybody else reaching out, and I was like, holy Rick, and then I was like, oh, I'm not the only, we ain't the only ones around here. This has been happening for ages. There's a sea of people. And then I was like, oh damn, you're just using all the Māoris you can. Okay.
Yeah. There used to be this program when I was in radio, I was in Whangārei at the time, and
did you grow program. Up there? Nah.
What's that?
What were you up in Whangārei, or how'd you get up there?
No. So, because I grew up military, my dad was in the army. I was in the military.
That's right.
We travelled. I was born in Trentham, Wairuru. Then the parents decided to head in separate directions. All that kind of excitement, and then we ended up moving to Porirua, which was amazing for me. Some of the whanaunga there were just so good. We were just by the pa, just up from the pa. Yep. And some of them are still close friends today, and they were amazing. I loved it there. And then went to Rotorua, and that's where I started high school. So I went to Boys High.
Oh, yeah, one of the greats to come from Boys High.
So yeah, that was amazing. Amazing experience. I'll tell you one time. They used to still do the caning then.
Oh, did you get the cane?
Here's my story.
Okay.
So I got the strap a lot. I didn't care. It's like, because it shows you're a tough guy in front of the chicks when you're walking back in the class.
At Rotorua Boys.
No, not at Rotorua. Primary school and
I get you. Intermediate. Yeah.
And so you had some of the boys would come back in and they'd be going and be like, "Come on." So anyway, you come back like it's nothing, and there's a bit of pain, but when you deal with some of this crap at home, that's nothing. So
nothing anyway. Yeah.
That's nothing. So I was So I was at high school. School bored me a little bit because I felt I was smarter than the teachers, and I didn't really, if I wanted to take the day off school, I'd just take the day off school. Anyway, this one time, my brother was a goody two shoes, and he was a prefect, and And there was a whole lot of us that got called out at assembly on Monday. And they said, basically, if you don't have a note from your parents on Tuesday, everyone's getting caned. You know what my first thought was? Nah, no one's going to cane me. So I go home, I tell Mum, I said, if you don't give me a note, I don't really care. But someone tries to cane me, I'm going to smash them. I don't care. They don't have a right to do that. I ain't no bending over for some dude so he can whack me with a stick. Not going to happen. I said, if this happens, I'm going to assault someone and I'm going to get into a lot of trouble. Don't care. No one's going to cane me, because I've seen boys get caned and I thought, nah, there's no way I'm going to do that. I ain't bending down so no one can. I don't know them. They don't have any right to do that. So that, I think it stopped soon after that, but that was the only time that was closest. I thought, that's not going to happen to me. So boys high. And then I went to Church College in Hamilton because I was a basketballer. I went there to play in my 7th form year, and ended up playing rugby. So I started playing rugby more because I was a sprinter at school. I won, sprints at boys high a few years in a row, I think. I can't remember now. It was like back in the 20s. So, so we moved a lot. And so I ended up starting at Geyserland. It was Geyserland in Rotorua, started on radio. And then I went to the full-time course, and that was massive at that time, so you've got pictures on the wall. And this is what I loved about it, because there was you're looking at the history of those who have gone through there. Paul Holmes' photo was on the wall. Mike Hosking's photos was on the wall. A lot of really well-known broadcasters, and I thought, that's where I want my photo. So I went through that, and apparently I topped the course. And so when you top the course, you go to what was then at the Tonight Show. It was the only nationwide program. So I went to the Tonight Show, and I couldn't come to terms with it. I struggled with radio. I felt I was talking to the country, and I didn't know how to do that properly. So I went to the big boss and asked if I could go to a small station so I could learn to talk to people properly. And they sent me to Whangarei so I went up there. He didn't want me to leave Wellington, but it was too big for me. I just needed to understand what the process was and get better at radio. And so went up there, loved it. I played for Mid-Northern, which is all the Going clan up there. Sure. The boys that are celebrating the Ranfurly Shield. Whoop, whoop.
Hey,
and then
yeah,
and then I ended up the captain of Northland or North Auckland at the time wanted me to play for his team, and I thought, yeah, why not go and have a shot with I think they were Old Boys. So I went and played with them for a year, and then I got posted down to Greymouth. So that was an experience, and I loved it down there. I've loved the places I've been, and from Greymouth I went to Gisborne, and I was only supposed to be in Gisborne a year, but I loved it so much and connected so well there. Played for a couple of rugby teams there. I trained rangataua Waatea, the Māori martial arts that some of the boys had set up. And so I did that. So I've sort of travelled a lot throughout the country.
So you've been transient through most of your life. So we must be similar then, brother, because I went to like 17 primary schools, but I never really, I was everywhere, brother. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, it was all over the place, brother. So, well, when someone says, where's home for you then? Well, where's it? Same like me.
Well, I sort of like I love Auckland, and Auckland's been, all my kids were born in Auckland, and that means a lot. Auckland has been my home. I consider myself an Aucklander, absolutely. But I guess if you were to ask where my hometown was, it has to be Rotorua, because that's where I spent probably 4 or 5 years of my life. That was the longest I'd spent anywhere before Auckland. So yeah, I call Rotorua my home, I guess.
Okay. But finally, on the radio, what you learned out of that, you were saying?
Yeah, it was amazing because I was such a baby. Like, I was early 20s, and I was still young when I went into television. So I didn't know anything when I went up there. I was trying to, be this radio guy, and you're supposed to project your voice, and you're supposed to, hey, what's it? And that's why I was able to spend some time with some really good people who looked after me and showed me the ropes, gave me responsibility. Well, I'll tell you one of the coolest things. I don't think they do it now. Well, you don't need to because of streaming and social media. But we used to go every Christmas. So I made 2 of these Christmases. I'm sure I went up there twice to Paihia, and it was like the northern part of the radio station, and we were had this big caravan that was set up like a radio station, and so we lived in Paihia for 4 weeks, and that was amazing, just being part of that. And so, you know, occasionally because I had my first motorcycle then, which was quite a big one. And so I didn't know if you were allowed to ride around Paihia without a helmet. So I accidentally did it a few times without a helmet, and it was cool fun. But, you know, that's where I got to know the North and traveled all around the North, and I loved it. But there are a lot of people still haven't been all up around the North, and I love
beautiful up there too, eh? Some beautiful spots, man.
It's just sometimes I forget, and my niece got married up there, and can't remember off the top of my head. It's a few years ago now, and went there and just went, holy, you forget how amazing these bays are. You know, Coromandel's extraordinary, right? And then you go up north and there's bay after bay after bay after. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it goes for eons, and yeah, it's beautiful, brother. So the whole country is beautiful. But yeah, carry on.
Oh no, it absolutely is. We're setting up this. I don't know if you ride bikes. A few of us go on these big motorcycle rides, and we've picked up these 360 cameras, so we can actually. There's some just.
Oh yeah, Insta 360s, yeah.
Oh gosh,
they're
cool
just cameras, so much.
Oh, they're amazing. I don't know how they work. It's almost like, you know how parrots have these eyes on the other side, and I think they can see stuff that we can't. They can see all over, because I think that's how these cameras are designed.
Talking about seeing stuff, look at this man. Oh man, 78 reckons Neil still looks 30. What do you say?
Hey, hey, my man. Is that my cousin? That's my cousin, eh?
Yeah, it must be, your cousin, man, 78. The boy reckons the only thing I miss about the far north is the fishing and scenery. Jeremy Ngatai. He's one of the big Ngatais, that guy.
I got my Ngatai. They're from the East Coast, aren't they?
Where's this Ngatai from? Jeremy, what Ngatai are you from? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I got my Paddy's license when I was up there, because a good friend of mine was an instructor, and so he basically took a few of us through. That was cool, man. Just going up around the islands. There's so many places to dive up there, and getting crayfish, and crayfish was my favorite, and kina. But yeah, the North is extraordinary. So this is what we want to do on these bikes. We want to stick our cameras on these bikes, and just there's a point I don't recall seeing it, that my mate went across to Taranaki, and he said,
oh, speaking of Taranaki, there you go. That's where that Ngatai is from, Taranaki.
From Taranaki.
That one? Yeah.
They were going across there, and he said at one point you can see Ngarua Hoe, Ruapehu, Tongariro. You can almost see those, and just across slightly you can see Mount Taranaki. And I said, that would be extraordinary to show people around the world what this place is like as a motorcycle rider. And the roads here are challenging. It's just not, like in America, they're just big, massive highways and freeways. And we went over the Coromandel, and I don't recall being in Coromandel town before. And the roads around there are windy as, but what incredible, like Coromandel town's a heritage town. And that's why they won't allow McDonald's there. They won't allow KFC. They won't allow, which I think, but they're just these amazing old towns where when the ships came in, they landed there and grabbed, was it Cody or Totara from up in the hills, and they figured out a way to get it down for the ships so they could take it off and make ships overseas with them. But extraordinary, and that's what we want to do. And when we went up north one time, we went up to Matodi Bay, all around there. Holy hell, you're up on these hills, and you're almost coming off the bike, bro, because you're just going, man, this is beautiful up here. It's just spectacular scenery. So anyway,
as a kid, Matodi Bay.
There's some amazing stuff. Can I come back to this situation? Yep. So sorry.
You're the interviewer tonight, Neil.
Sorry, I wandered off a little bit. We tend to do this, and it's good. I think it's good that we can just be comfortably, you know.
Well, now we're not
just
on radio. We've got no ads or anything, no weather, so we could.
Not yet, bro.
Not yet.
So you make this statement and they go, oh, we don't want you here. We're going to let you go. It's like, from what? The only thing they were providing was the frequency.
Yeah, that's it.
At the end of the day. And that's sad, bro. That's really sad. At the end of the day, you need to ensure that your people are taken care of. Number one. And I'm so glad that so many people reached out, because it means, number one, you have that following, that's who you are. You've got an amazing following, obviously. But also, it's not the right thing. And also to hear from people. Now, I've got some stories. Not going to talk about them yet, but I got some stories when I was at Whakaata Māori that wasn't so good.
What is it with, Neil? Like, what is it with? And I know that like other cultures and that like do like whāwhā with Pūtea too and all of that stuff. But what is it with Māoris and like in the old dollar bills? Cause when the dollar bill comes around, not always, but
yeah.
And even I'll also throw our Islander whānau in there, Moana Pacifico going bankrupt. Even the Tongan team, and in Manu Samoa, remember John Campbell did their big thing over there. What does it go with us in the cash?
Look. This is why I actually brought up the initial thing about being in whangara and PEP schemes, and they were employment schemes to get people employed, essentially. And some of the things that came out of that were just devastating to me, because Māori were setting up organizations to set up work skills programs and all this kind of thing. And then it started to come out that some of these people were basically taking all the putia and doing their own thing, and they weren't looking enough. They weren't employing the people. They weren't giving them all the money. And I don't know if it comes down to the money's there, we're going to make the most of it because it's not going to be there tomorrow, but it's the living with yourself. It's when you do well, the premise here is that you always look after people. You always take care of people and make sure people are good. You just don't take everything for yourself and then run off. The integrity side of it is a problem.
Well, it's like I feel like if that's the only way you operate, eventually you'll burn so many bridges, no one will like you, and
yes.
you'll end up you'll be. And let's say, okay, yes, but I'm the richest man in the world, but what a lonely life.
It's not. Who wants to be remembered as a bit of an asshole because you're not doing the right thing? You're not, like, I've always felt like I've worked for organizations and helped them, and I haven't even charged them sometimes. And I haven't done that because I know that they're struggling. And I've just set up programs for them to make sure they're good. And that's a small thing, that's a small thing. But when you have people that are setting up organizations, and close brother of mine, he set up these organizations for success, and he's looked after his people, and that's the type of thing that we should be looking at. But for some reason, people seem to be able to get into these organizations, grab all this money, and it's happened more than a few times, and they've done their own thing, and they've looked after their own immediate family, but they haven't looked after the people that they were supposed to look after. And that's incredibly sad to me, because you're the one that's got to live with yourself at the end of the day. And I don't know why this happens. And I sometimes I just wonder if it's because you haven't seen this amount of money before and you're thinking, well, it's not going to last, so I've got to take it all for myself. No. End of the day, you got to look after people. I don't care what anyone says, you got to look after people. And
but if you look after your people that help you get it, you'll also get more. I think, you know what I mean? More things will come
in
abundance. Like, as
well. 100%. What you give to people, they'll give back. They just will. You hire the right people, they'll give that back. But if you don't look after people properly, then people are going to talk about you when you don't want them to talk about you. And you're going to be sitting at home going, oh, no, people are talking about me now. It's like, well, you made your bed, son.
Well, this one, you can have integrity in business and still look after those who work for you. Productivity will increase if your workers are happy.
100%. 100%. See, I'm connected to Te Atiawa as well, so that's probably my brother. From over the West Coast there. My bro.
Any other part-time there, Matua Neil?
What's that?
Any other part-time?
Yeah, so when you're in this position, right, and you've had to look after yourself for a period of time, and you're putting everything into it.
Yeah, hard.
How did you feel about doing the mahi?
Oh no, look, the mahi. That's the thing, brother. The mahi is not the problem, cause the mahi is all good. It's just when you reach out for a fee, and then it's like, oh nah, or can do, and then you're getting and then they twist it into it's mental health. Your mental health is not good. This is getting to you, all of the pressure of this mahi. No, actually, now you're getting to me because they're saying, I love them. I can talk forever. I can kōrero and I can listen to people, I enjoy it, so whakawhiti kōrero is all day for me. So that part of it's not that easy.
So how did you feel?
And all of that stuff, obviously that. Am I as passionate about editing? Probably not, but it's what you got to do. I just got this goal. Let's build the biggest station in the country and all of this. That was the idea.
Yeah. I love that. And there's an opportunity to do stuff. When I was young, one of the things that inspired me about radio is I'd hear these people on the radio, and in those days, well before the war, there used to be an opportunity when we'd travel, like Dad was away a lot, right, on deployment and annual camps and all sorts of things, training exercises. And when he was back, there was a period where we'd travel as a family. I don't remember all the places, but what I tried to do, and every time we traveled somewhere, I tried to find out what the local radio station was, and I'd go in. And in those days, you'd walk into a reception area, and there was a receptionist or people, at the front. And then you could walk over to where the studio was, and you could see people on radio. And this blew my mind because I'd hear them on the radio, and I'd see them talking.
Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't know how they were doing this, and I still don't, but I saw this and I was just looking at it, and I was fascinated by these people. Now, one of these guys, he's very camp, and I hadn't really seen this before. On radio, it's like blah, 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 blah. And I thought, oh, wow, this guy must be, I walk in there and he's like this. He's just going, and then you go, blah, 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 blah. Now, I met him some years later, and I told him how amazed I was that he was so professional. Now you couldn't swear. That's one of the things. Back in those days, they used to smoke in the studio. So when I started radio, sometimes there was smoke in the studio, remnants of having had a few smokes. But I used to love watching people on radio, and I wish they still do. Oh, actually, no, that's they do, but they're not small towns. They're in Auckland. Where NZME is, I think it's where NZME is. You can go past and see people on air, but it's only in one area in Auckland. So small towns have lost that to some extent because everything most comes out of Auckland. But I loved, can you imagine the inspiration that you would be to some kids who could just come in and watch and just see you talking on radio. And then sometimes you might want to have a chat with them on radio, This is what community radio, this is what the opportunity in radio is there for. To get, even when I was in Gisborne, before I went to TV, it was like that. People just walk in, they'd look through the studio, I'd wave at them, they'd wave back. But that's the inspiring part for me. You inspire younger people. It's what the All Blacks do, right? Give a lot of attention to the kids, to inspire them. And how many of these young kids, it's been documented, have become All Blacks. Tamati Ellison did the haka for Michael Jones. I think might have been Inga did this haka, and it was on a news or something. It was on something, and here's Tamati Ellison. Next minute, he's an All Black. That kind of stuff is so inspirational.
Yeah, that's cool when I was a kid, Yeah.
And to get more people.
This is Corina anyway. Corina, you can join the call. Neil can ask us both questions while he's here.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, cool, because you two have been had to deal with the fallout of this. How did you feel when Shubz started talking about this?
It was unexpected, and that's the thing with the posts that he's been putting out the last couple of days. He hasn't run them by me, and so I was a little bit shocked to see the first one, but also I knew that it was coming because we've been following. Yeah, it was just a matter of time, basically. But we have tried to follow process. I have tried to facilitate meetings. I've tried everything that I possibly could do to avoid the situation that we're in now. And so when there was a shutdown and a lack of communication from the other side of things, I'm like, well, I can only do so much. And I've told them that there's only so much I can do when it comes to Shubz. I can only say so much, and he's only going to take so much on board. He's not going to respond how you want him to. But they knew what they were getting into, basically, by taking him on. And so it's disappointing because from what I see, there's a lot of trying to save reputations and trying to save asses. And amongst all of it, that is the biggest thing for me.
And this is the way to do it?
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely not the way to do it. And I know that Raywin's talking about threats, but for me, if you are serious about people making threats against you, why are you jumping on a train? Why are you catching public transport from Papakura into the city if you feel like people are going to physically attack you? To me, the math ain't mathing.
So you're in the situation now. You made these comments, but to be fair, you've been living with this for quite a while. And I don't know why this hasn't been rectified, remediated before now. Do you know why the ghosting happened? Do you know why this hasn't been addressed earlier?
Because he asked for what was promised. Shubz was asking for things that had been initially promised to us from the start. And those promises hadn't been fulfilled. And so that's when the communication stopped. But they were intermittent up until that point anyway. Like, we came on board of the understanding that this was whānau doing this. We came on board on the understanding that we were going to get ownership eventually. That's why we worked so hard for as long as we did without putting money in our pockets, because we were promised the end goal was going to be ownership of the radio station. And so on that, we continued doing what we were doing. And I had said to them a couple of weeks ago, at this point, somebody needs to just pull the trigger and put us all out of our misery, because the resolution wasn't coming. And they didn't do that 2-3 weeks ago when I said it. They waited until now, until he exploded, for all of this to come out, when it could have been handled a long time ago.
Of course. Look, I've worked in senior management, right, for global organizations. I've seen some good things, real good things. I've seen some things that weren't necessarily good, and some of those things need to be addressed. One of the most important things in this space is communication. You can't not communicate with your people. And I don't know why, putting your head under the covers, they thought this is going to work, this is going to be successful. We'll just pretend they're not contacting us, we'll pretend. So that's one thing, to not keep in good communication, because you're hurting people. And when people aren't being paid for a period of time, people are hurting. People are struggling in this world anyway, especially in Aotearoa. People are struggling, right? So when you've got a situation when you've got people that are not doing their due diligence around looking after their people, there's a problem here. So why I brought up the management situation, because this is how I would have dealt with something like this. Number one, I would have been heavily involved, because it's really important, and the kinds of conversations you guys are having are good. They're really good. They're strong. They're talking about now. There could very well be some elements out there in the community that are going, hey, we don't want him doing this, we don't want him talking about Māori, we don't. It's like, no, stop. This was what was organized in the first place. And one of the special things about you guys is being able to talk. And it's, you're not representing all Māori, you're representing you and your integrity and your ethics, right? And
same with George. Like George and Raywin, the owners, they're not representing all of Māori, they're representing them.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. I saw George. I interviewed him. Who did he work for? He worked for he was the deputy, the children's.
When they had the daycares or whatever, was it?
Yeah, when they took that baby off that young mother, I think in Hawke's Bay, maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Carry on.
So he was the deputy, and these guys, they were afraid. They were afraid, and so he came on my show at Whakaata Māori, and I knew he was. I wasn't there to crucify people. I don't like doing that. I've mentioned that before, but it's important. It's important to hear them talk. It's important for them to say things that will allay fears and help communicate information to people. It really is important. So this is one of the things I find the saddest, that they haven't communicated. Number one, communication's crucial for any organization. Number two, they haven't looked after you. Now, it didn't have to be $1 million a year, or did it?
Oh no, they didn't even ask for it. I don't ask for like $500 a week just to pay the rent.
It didn't have to be $1 million a year until next year. But give your people something and help them to be able to continue on in a different vein, right? We all like to be valued. It's a value piece. And if you're not valued, then you're being used.
Yeah.
And then that makes you unhappy. And especially when you got someone like this fellow who's just, you know what, he's lived a life, he's lived some tough stuff, he's had to go through some resilience, as you have, as we all have.
We all do.
So because of that, you're going to say things. And that's not wrong, because it's what you feel, right? And so the communication piece, number one, that's the first thing that went haywire. Not looking after you is the next thing. And then, because you make those comments, they're going, we're going to, social media is here. So that's absolutely not necessary anymore. Now, anyone that even considers working for Aotearoa Radio has got to think twice about what's going on. Because if you guys weren't looked after in the amazing work that you've been doing, you think somebody else will be?
But it's not even that. They own so many companies. Mr. Whippy, Whānau Order clinics like all around the country.
Coffee Club.
Whānau Order clinics.
Coffee Club.
The Coffee Club.
Kiwi Bank, Post Shop.
Kiwi Banks and Post Shops. Like 6 of them, I think.
Makes no sense. You look after your people.
No, they got no money, Neil. They've got no money.
Yeah, look, people that say they got no money probably shouldn't be in business then, because if they're making such a small amount of money, see, I struggle with this, because if you're in business to make money, right? And so if you're making money, then you've got to look after the people that are doing the work for you. I can't emphasize that enough. So when you came to this point and they said, okay, we're going to cut this, what was your first response?
Well, we didn't find out until social media told us yesterday.
Oh.
We still haven't been communicated to that.
Haven't received a text, a call, or an email from them to say the show was suspended.
We only know from the Facebook post that was posted on Radio Aotearoa yesterday. And the funny thing is, it was posted under, meant to be from Raywin, which is, the wife. But then if you look at that little bubble underneath, because we're not dinosaurs, we're pretty smart with the technology, it says posted by George Ngatai.
Oh, I'm so sorry that this has happened. Because
we're taking the experiences. The good thing from all of it is that the connections that we've made. If we didn't do this radio gig, we would have never met you. I would never have met you at headquarters that night. We wouldn't have been able to interview some of the really cool people that we've had on the show. So amongst all the bullshit that's gone on, there have been some blessings. Yeah, absolutely.
There definitely is.
And we take all those experiences and we keep moving forward.
Yeah, so there are definitely positives, but positives that you could have dealt with and they could have dealt with in another way. And what happens now? What happens from here?
Well, we just do it like this online, and we just put together some packages. So maybe we try to get some sponsorship to sponsor this show that we do, because I mean we do get quite an audience, and also obviously we can repurpose it for social media as well. So and the caliber of people that come on here, looking at people from all over the world in politics and even athletes and stuff like that teed up. So yeah, and the great Neil Waka. So like, yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to hopefully garner something and pull something together. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do the mahi no matter what. Like I said to the squad, like meaning everybody out there that supports us in any way, we're gonna keep doing it. But at the same time, no matter what. So we'll still do it 4 to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, and we'll just keep going. And eventually, obviously, maybe have a couple weeks off for Christmas. But we've got some mahi to do to get that to happen. We'll see.
So what we need to do is to be able to reach out to people as well, and we want people that are listening to be able to reach out to people, not to give handouts, not to do that. Exactly. That's not needed. It's just for people who have connections and to connect you guys up with money. There's a lot of money. There is a lot of money around. There's advertising dollars. And some people will see the benefit to being part of this, especially because of how this has occurred. And there will be a lot of unhappy people about this situation, because it's not the way you treat people. And I don't know why. I don't know why at some stage, when this show's smashing around the world, then we're going to have to get them on the show and say, look, why did you do this? What's happened? Because people want answers to it. Everyone's very quick to chase and attack politicians. Something like this.
Well, he was. I don't know if you know, but he was running as a candidate for New Zealand First. And he's sent for Papakura, and he's just announced that he's standing down today.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, you make your bed, but So it's you want people to genuinely reach out to their connections, because this is something that needs to occur. This kind of show, with someone like you, with someone like Corina, organizing and producing, number one producer. You need people to reach out and help others to understand where you're going to from here, and this is something we've been talking about, because there's so much of an opportunity for this. People are especially in mainstream radio, mainstream broadcasting, there are guards around what they do, what they say, and all this kind of thing. And you're smart enough, we're smart enough to be able to make sure that we don't go off in dumb tangents, and I don't think that you guys do that. And so there are opportunities to align with sponsors and with advertisers to start really making a point that this is a program that can break barriers, that can reach people who are having to put up with a lot of the rubbish that's being pushed at them on social media. But you're going to get the truth, like, we ain't lying.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the name of the show.
And it doesn't mean that, like, maybe I've acted wrong too. If that's the case, I'll take that on the chin too. In terms of the way that I've presented things and put them out. Did I come from an emotional part? Of course, but
yes. And see that, and then you take it on the chin and go, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have talked like that, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. And you do that and accept it, and then you move on. But your intention is not to hurt people.
But I think the cool thing is, like, because a lot of people are focused on trying to get us back on radio. I actually think it's good that we're on here, because, like you say, we're not bound by the BSA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, out here on social media, obviously we still, there's still consequences for anything that happen on here, but it's a lot less restrictive. And like you said, brother, like I did this podcast called Mind the Mic about a couple of years back. I did like 400 episodes. I filmed them in like 7 months. I think it was. Just went hard. Sometimes I'd do like 6 in one day, and just like hour to 2 hours. I edit them all, put them all out, did it all. But I had this goal to make the biggest podcast in the world. That was my mindset, right? Then I ended up getting, I got so tunnel vision on it. I was putting in 21 hours a day, and then I wasn't sleeping. Then I ended up getting like a bit of a brain thing, you know.
Yeah,
So I ended up getting a bit of a bleed on the brain. We'll see things going, but I've obviously managed myself a bit better these days. Still grinding hard, but I think that's still the goal. Is like, well, who says that Kiwis can't fly and we can't make a show that, you know, we've obviously got connections all overseas, and we know people that know people. And we just keep going and keep interviewing people from all over the place and see where this takes us. And, you know, the goal was always to build this, and then eventually this is we'll have our own show too, because that's what we were sold is we'll jump on radio, I'll take that slot, the drive, we'll learn the game, and then the guy in breakfast, his name's Tony Amos. George said to us verbatim, he's old, so he's gonna die, and then you'll go to breakfast, and then Corina will go to the drive show. So eventually, my goal is just to build this as big as we can, and then eventually build it so that the sister can have her own show too. And that once someone's good enough to be the greatest producer as well, and whatever happens from this.
So on Tony, he was.
You know Tony.
Well, I have met him.
I'm not saying Tony's gonna die. That's what George said.
No. Back in the Rugby days, when all those, Kevin Black and all them, Tony Amos was on Hauraki. He was on that show way back then, and I worked with his ex-wife.
Leah was on there too. Leah Panapa, was he on there? She was on Hauraki somewhere.
I'm talking.
And
I'm not sure. I'm talking probably before her time. Yeah, but she did. She's scary. We did this. We did this roast. We did this roast one time, and she just tore me to shreds. And I'm just sitting there going, I didn't realize that it was about the people involved, and she just smashed me. I was going, I'm so upset. No, I wasn't upset, but it was just she can be harsh, man. So I'm scared of her. But yeah. So Tony Amos, I met him, and his voice is so etched in my memory from the early days when I used to listen to Kevin Black, and Tony Amos was one of those. And I did meet him one time. We did have a chat, and it was cool. I was kind of buzzy because he was one of those, the early out on that ship when Hauraki first started. He was one of those guys, I think. The early days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
we got a comment in here, Neil, talking about Janine says he was the deputy of the children's what? If you are going to talk about communication.
Sorry. That's what I was trying to think of.
Was it whānau ora? Is that what you're talking about?
Whānau ora. I think it was whānau ora. And
because he's got whānau ora community clinics, which isn't whānau ora commissioning. He's named his clinic smartly, named their clinics after whānau ora. John Tamihere actually took them to court. This is public information. Took them to court for the name, but then John Tamihere lost because you can't own a kaupapa. That's what Ricky Rangi Gage said. You can't own a kaupapa.
So he was. I'm pretty sure it's whānau ora, and I'm pretty sure that was.
Yeah, well, that's his clinics. So they got like multiple all around the country, from Kaiō all the way down to Dunedin, I think, or Christchurch.
Wait, this is his?
Yes, George. This is what I'm saying, brother. And they're going to give us $2.
And they've got childcare centres that go with it.
This is big business.
Yeah, I know, brother. This is my podcast.
In my head, I'm going, surely they mustn't be doing well, or they mustn't have any money. So they own, like, I don't know how many. Let's say maybe 10 or something. They own a multiple in South Auckland. They own Christchurch Community Clinic. They own Kaiō. I don't know about Kaitaia, but definitely Kaikohe as well. And then I don't know how many in Auckland. And then they also own, I think, 6. He said to us, 6 Kiwi banks and post offices. One in Kaikohe, Kaitaia. One in Point Chev. They also own a supermarket called Circle K. Yeah, Circle K, which is a Canadian supermarket. They were the sponsor for the Circle K to get into New Zealand. Circle K, that's another thing that they own. And Mr. Whippy's all around. Bro, they own the heaps of shit, brother. Okay, so here's the question. Why didn't they look after you better?
Well, like, if you want I'll give you my view. This is can give you hers. From all the conversations I've had with all these people that have reached out to me since I started complaining a little bit. And then after I put up that big video, they've done this to everyone, brother. Like, they've done this to everybody. They've milked everyone, a lot of their own whānau. Like, actually, I'm whānau too, so, you know. So they've done this to, like, a lot of people, brother. Like, a lot of people have literally worked for them, but they've done it under the guise of volunteering. The only thing with volunteering, at the scope of mahi that we do is way outside of volunteering. Also, they're not a charity and they're not a political party. They're all private businesses too. Like, so this whole volunteering is just rubbish. But anyway, carry on. Your turn, sis.
Yeah, no, it is very much what the bro has said. They don't look after people. They just don't. And we're finding that out more and more. And even that night that we met at headquarters, I got told that George owed people money.
Yeah, one of those people that George owes money to, fucking Sean Plunkett. Sean Plunkett told me that multiple times too. George owes him money because George, he used to simulcast his show on Radio Aotearoa, so the show that he has on the platform, Sean, he simulcasted on there. He said George owed him money too. And when he told me this, because he actually told me this before I got on Radio Aotearoa the week before, I put out a video around that whole, I don't know if you've seen the mumbo jumbo claim that BSA was trying to say. They were trying to go at Sean Plunkett and say that Sean Plunkett is a racist and all this. And then I just said, fuck, you know what? Like, a lot of you use the word racist like loosely. Like, it's like, just because they don't agree with you, they're a racist and they're a different color or they're white. So I as a Maori said, I don't agree with that. Just because you say tikanga's mumbo jumbo, let's say you're sitting there, and even Maori know, if you're sitting there for like 40 minutes listening to like all these tauparaparas and that, and all you've just come for some bloody kaupapa, it's like, wow, I'm bored now. Like, even Māoris that understand Māori get bored. Like, so you imagine being a pākehā that didn't grow up with te reo, and you listen to this for however long you're listening to it for, it would sound like mumbo jumbo. That doesn't mean it's racist. He's just not cultured to the thing, to that whole whakaaro or that worldview. He didn't grow up with it. I didn't think it was racist, so I put out this post, and then he was surprised, and he put out a little piece just saying, pretty much thanking me for and then got me on the show, and he said, if you ever need a job, come over here, or, you know, if you can find some sponsors, I'll have you on the show. He said that on air, but I told him that I'm on Radio Aotearoa, and then privately he told me George ripped them off too, but I don't give a fuck, because George ripped everyone off, so yeah, nothing new. Yeah, so yeah, yep. that was him, and not only that, George has been a member of Destiny Church for like 20 years, which is
he Destiny?
Yeah, which is I don't care. Like, do whatever you want. You know, we've had Brian and we had Hannah on here yesterday. You know, because she's running for Vision for Papakura as a candidate, and I've had Brian on a couple of times to talk about certain things. We'll have anyone on for corridor that's like, you know, that's keen for a yarn. And the crazy thing is, after I started posting things, heaps of people from Destiny, but they've reached out saying that, bro, they've just ripped us, brother, but because we, you know, good Christian people, and they just, you know, took, like, you know, used us for free. We're free. Next minute, we're looking like, how many months we've been doing this, and we're not, there's like nothing. And the next minute, they're rolling around first class, got all these new everything, like, you know, thousands of dollars of bags and everything. And hold on, we're just doing this for free. It's just using us good Christian folk. Bro, tons of people in the church been like murked from them, cuz it's out the gate. I think they've just been so used to doing it and getting away with it that they just thought, oh, when I said, you know, well, if you're not gonna, then I might as well see what New Zealand First and think about you talking to David Seymour and using me to get to David Seymour 2 weeks before, or 3 weeks, whatever it is, before you get announced as a candidate for New Zealand First, asking me to go and talk to him, asking me to go talk to Kule to see if they'll have a meeting with you because you're not going to get taken from New Zealand First because of your connection to Destiny. Next minute, he does get taken. You know what I mean? As a, you know, obviously it's all public now.
Are you afraid that they might come after you and want proof of a lot of these things?
Well, I've already put it out. I've got it on my face. Yeah, I'll show you proof now. I'll fucking show you proof now. Go to WhatsApp. What's this? No,
and that's the thing. I don't think they realised and they should have realised that he keeps the receipts on things. So when he does speak about something, he can back it up with the receipts. And so we have those records.
These receipts.
Have you talked to any of your whānau about this situation?
Oh, you mean ones that I found out to him too? Heaps of them will say I told you, but I didn't really listen. That's what my problem is. On the ease, I didn't listen. Let me have a look. Let me have a look here. Kia ora. George Ngatai. I'll just do it on
What are
this
you
one.
sharing with us?
No, I'm gonna put it on the screen because then, like, look, I'll show you right now. Gus, get by.
See, I'm just let me just go back to my TV days.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
could never happen.
Right?
Never. Because you'd have the CEO come running down the stairs going, take that off. That can't go on there because the network's vulnerable, blah, 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 blah. This is extraordinary. What a time.
But they're trying to say, oh, we're private conversations and all of this. That'll be. You just don't want to look like dirty. That's all. Yeah, like because like if you're real, like putting all in ticker, like me, brother, like if you put out something with me saying, huh?
What would you like to see? Okay, this is all here. This has happened. What
I'm just trying to see if I can put it on because it's in another browser. But 2 seconds.
What would you like them if you had the ideal situation and you provided a response that you would like from them? What would that look like? If you said, okay, George, we want this. Go. What would that look like if there was to be a resolution here?
I would want Raywin to step away from the Manurewa local board for a start.
Oh, you're big on that, Eagle.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she was the one that asked me to go to the Manurewa board. She was the one that gave us the very first story about Marshall Aluwalia. Yep. And I know from my conversations with her, she's been sitting on this evidence for the last at least 2 months. She's only come out with this evidence as a whistleblower last week. To me, that plays into your integrity.
Well, if you really cared about all of the stuff, why are you coming out now? Why you didn't give it to us? Why you didn't give it to us when we was your favorite nephew and your favorite niece over there doing the mahi for you?
Yeah. So I was at those board meetings at her insistence, at her request. And so I got to see how the Manurewa board operates. And my observations are that the entire board needs to be replaced because they're doing a disservice to the Manurewa community.
This is the Manurewa town board. What are they called?
Local board.
Yeah, local board. Like it's that one that are under councils, So the city council.
So they're representative
of Manurewa.
Auckland City Council's representative from Manurewa.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, there's 8 of them. So there's 8. So because it's a super city, there's whatever. I don't know how many ward councillors there are, but each ward, their ward is Manurewa has 2A. They got Matt Winiata and Daniel Newman. They represent the Auckland City Council, and then under them is the local board members. And this guy named Marshall, who's the one that won the most votes in last year's election for local board election, is an Indian guy, and does seem to be a bit dodgy because even the Papatoetoe local board in Otara, they were Indian dudes, and then they all had to have a whole by-election. They had to redo it because they all got done for election for. But anyway, this guy Marshall Aluwalia, he goes out and he pretty much like extorts money out of these dudes, and this dude, we get the recordings from Raywin and all of the stuff, and then we go and broadcast it. So we put the post up about and expose this Indian dude for trying to extort money out of people for his election fraud, heaps of things. And then there was all the and he was number 1 on the ticket. Raywin, George's wife, was number 8, so she just made it in. Yeah.
And she gave us that information about Marshall. She's been sitting on evidence for the last few months, and she's only come out last week as a whistleblower. And to me, that plays into your integrity, especially with what we do in terms of exposing the corruption. She's part of that corrupt system. If she's been sitting on this information for all of this time, you can't come out just last week and say, I'm a whistleblower and I'm being threatened.
Yeah, she says she's being threatened by like gangs and all of this, right? That she's scared for her life. And then next minute, 2 days later, in the Winston Peters wrapped New Zealand First van that they wrapped, not got nothing to do with Winston, they just did it because obviously George is a candidate for New Zealand First. they park it at a South Auckland train station and go and catch the train together. And now I know you met George, but George ain't beating up anyone, cuss. So like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Raywin, you're not scared for your life, you're all shit.
Yeah, but I think
True
beyond that,
if you're scared for your life from the gangs, why are you parking this van in South Auckland going to the movies? Shut up.
But I would say that in terms of resolution, I would be happy for it to go in front of employment relations and let them decide whether we've actually been volunteers, because the work that we've got behind us shows that we've done a lot more than volunteering for a 4 to 7 show.
Oh, way more. That ain't even
like we were in transcripts for a magazine. I've worked on the magazine. I've worked on uniforms. We've been given press passes. There are all sorts of things outside of this volunteers for a 4 to 7 show. If it was a simple matter of just doing the 4 to 7 show, then why were we given all these extra responsibilities? Why were we given all these extra tasks to do? And that's a whole lot of time.
See, look at this fun. See, look, this was my WhatsApp. And if anybody sends any silly messages, unlucky use, you're going on live. But anyway, look, see, this is mine. Look at this. George Ngatai. Look at this one. George Ngatai. Boom. Kia ora, Q-Late. You see that one? See? Kia ora, Q-Late. That's Q-Late Wong. Because I introduced them. I had a call with Q-Late. Kia ora, Q-Late. And thanks for the intro, Shubz. And if and when you are free, it would be good to catch up for a coffee. 25th of the 6th, 2026. So when you watch this video where he says that he's publicly stepping down and he says, oh, I'm doing it because of, I sought, like I try to connect with other parties early in the year, 2 months ago now, like a couple of weeks before he got announced as a candidate in New Zealand First, after 3 years of, having to keep a low profile away from Destiny so that, that publicly it wasn't a bad look. And then this one. Look at this one. This one here. See this? Kia ora, David. This is George, because I had a call with David, and because George being me again, bloody get them. This is George Ngatai. Thank you for considering having a chat with him. Which again, this is nothing bad on David Seymour or Q-Late. They're just like potential candidate. It was a bit late in the piece. It was only 2 months ago. Here we go. Despite the lateness, I do feel this could be a combo that would benefit the country. And if he is considered, I'll be here to uffy and support in any way. Now you could be like, oh, Shubz, what are you doing? Oh, it's whatever. If George needs to do an interview on my show, I'll let him interview. My haramai, just like any other candidate. And David Seymour says, hi, George. Thank you for getting in touch. It is very late in the piece, but let's try have a cordial sometime. Then Uncle George Ngatai. Yes, that's right, Uncle. Even though he forgets that now, eh? Kia ora, David. I know you are busy. However, I am happy to meet with you to discuss options further. I am happy to come to wherever you are at any time.
Wow.
If I can talk about receipts, but I got heaps. So, shut your mouth. Well, he got me to go.
I did say we were doing media different, and we most definitely are.
Have you had any uptake from mainstream media?
Oh, I was just on when you actually joined. I was on the phone to them, but Corina, and we were all in a group chat with one of them because they've just published. The Herald published the article, but the article says, "Oh, we should screen share that shit," because he's out here saying that like he's feared for his life. That's why he's quit. Oh, shut up, now, because you got exposed for being a political hoe like 2 months ago. That's why.
You know what could have happened is Uncle Winston has stepped in and gone. It's not a good look.
Oh, no, 100%, Uncle, all of them.
Absolutely.
Said, no.
Because he's not one to muck around. Winston is not one to muck around, especially when it comes to stuff like that.
He's had to deal with people in certain ways before, and he's told them to step down. Made it obvious publicly, step down. You're not welcome in our party.
Yeah.
We all know.
Well, the thing is, after Stuart Nash stepped down, you can't keep George Ngatai on after Stuart Nash has stepped down for that comment that he made about Katie, what's her name? Because this is a worse situation if we're talking about worker exploitation and people not being looked after. It's a hell of a lot worse than what Stuart Nash said about someone being lazy.
Not only that, 2 weeks before getting announced, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, he's bloody sliding himself off to other parties. Like, and not only that, one of them is the Opportunity Party, which is like Kule Wong takes the biggest shots at Winston. Like she said, she will work with anyone but Winston. Come on, bro. Hey, yeah. But it's my fault. Hey, and yes, you wanted me to be a nice little Maori boy, shut my mouth. Yeah. But you should look after the Maori boy.
Which was always going to be a mistake. And I always knew that having you was going to be a risk for them if they stepped out of line. And they should have known that too, that you actually just don't care and you're going to say what you're going to say and to hell with everybody.
Well, no, but at the end of the day, like I stand up for the people, sis, and you know this. That's why when we did it, we know, even though people might be like, oh, you got fucking attacked and stabbed. How many people came up and cried on my shoulder because of the fucking, they got rapied by their dad or their auntie or uncle or whatever, and they looked at me as a hero. And I think that's weird. Like, come on. But I can understand now how people have these complexes with like a Brian Tamaki or someone that's put on a pedestal and people look at you like that. Because I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, but, there are people, even though there might be haters, there's heaps of people that actually love the stances that I've taken and feel like I'm brave. I don't really. I just feel like stuff them. Like, fuck all the pedos that exist and everybody that protects the cunts. Get fucked. You know what I mean? So they're used to everybody else hiding and just shutting up because they're these big fellas in the church or they're these big rich businessmen. And don't get me wrong, they're probably going to, try and sue me in every way that they can. But I'm not getting paid. What are you going to sue me for?
Take my salary.
Hey, take my salary, cuz, and that's the thing. And not only that, it was like I said to my sister here, Corina, I said, come on, sister, let's go. We're gonna rock it, and we're gonna build this, and we're gonna help our people. And this is you're mad about the Manurewa local board. The only reason that they've pushed out those Manurewa local board info to us is because they want control of everything. They literally benefit off their whole business model is all funding from government, all different government contracts. Even in the receipts in our bloody group chat, I'm not going to go dig on right now, but I can if you want, because you're probably going to go. But for me, it's like their whole political run is just to get government contract. You don't give a damn about the people, because if you did, you'd care about us a little bit and everybody else that's ringing me up saying, "Bro, it happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me." It happened to me.
Can I ask you guys a question? How have you survived over the last 4 months?
Shout out to my bro for letting me stay on this couch. Wow. Shout out to my brother. Hustles, brother. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, not be getting paid on radio. That just means it's not getting paid on radio. But there's other, you might get a little bit of putia through social media and all of that. But because I haven't been so focused on blowing the socials up, I've been more focused on growing the station. Yeah, I could have done more viral, engaging posts and all of that, which I haven't really. Yeah, so there's been a little bit of that. But no benefit. If that's what you mean.
There are so many narratives, that we're having to deal with, and so many people are following trends rather than really paying attention to and doing their own research, right? And so there's a dearth of what I feel is truth channels and truth media. They try and make it more about entertainment, which is fine. They want to make people laugh, and that's all fine. They want to cover sports, and that's all fine. Love that. But there are very few, I think, opportunities to hear from people who are just being honest.
Yes.
Rob says, he tried to get you to kiss Seymour and Kule's ass to get him in the back. No, I didn't kiss. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. It's like I said, and even if you're someone that potentially might sponsor us, don't sponsor us and tell us what to say unless we're promoting your business. Because if you tell me what to say, I'll tell you to get fucked. You know what I mean? I don't care how much money you're paying. Like, at the end of the day, if you're down to sponsor, it's because you took what we're about. We're about freedom of speech. We're about allowing all sides to come on. And even if we have our own biases towards the person, we'll let them have their say. Ain't nobody in media doing it like that. I'll tell you now.
So, and that's true. I agree with you. There's no one just allowing all sorts, not leaning towards a particular political spectrum. There's no one, I think, because a lot of that comes down to putia. It comes down to revenue. And when you've got a particular leaning in politics and you've got a lot of money, you're going, okay, we're going to put our money over here and we want this to happen. And then organizations might go, yep, that's what we think as well. So they sort of push that narrative. And what you have is a different kind of honesty. So I'm thinking there have to be organizations out there that just want the refreshing part of honesty, because there's so many challenges in the social media environment, and people just don't know what to hear. They want to be able to go somewhere for truth, and that's one thing. Even when I was with TV3 and with TV1 and in radio, one of the things I always tried to push for my own self is, if I'm going to say something, then I'm going to be honest. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm not going to say someone's an amazing person and they're not. I just won't say anything, because at the end of the day, I think what we have when we leave this planet is we have our integrity, and we have something that not everyone has. Now, have I always been honest? No. But I've gone through situations, and I'm at a time in my life where I can't be bothered with anything else because it's too complicated. And we want honesty. And it doesn't mean that we have all the answers, but it just means that people who are trying to pull the wool, people who are trying to rip people off, people who are trying to make out they're of the people, and they probably aren't. Those things are kind of challenging for me. I've got a lot of stories about that, but I probably won't go into them right now. But when you work in certain environments, you learn a lot about people. And one of the things that I've learned, and the thing that I love most about my broadcasting career, was interviewing people and learning about people and reading people and understanding. Sometimes people aren't honest, when they're talking to you, and I started to read that really well, whether it's body language, whether it's facial expressions, whether it's the way they talk, how they talk, the words they use. But I feel the most important thing we can do as good human beings is just be honest. That doesn't suit everyone. It just doesn't, because people have their own agendas. Everyone has their own agenda. And when they have their own agenda, that could mean that they're trying to pull the wool. It could mean that they're trying to make a little bit extra money for themselves. People have lots of different agendas. And I loved, when people come into the studio with me and I'd interview people, some were really nervous. And so I think we talked about this a while ago. I'd say, just look at me. I got you. Don't worry about the cameras. Ignore the cameras, and we'll just have a conversation. And they just started to relax. Being in the studio in front of cameras can be nerve-wracking. When I went back into television, I just felt like I'd come home. It's like, I'm so used to this. It's a kind of a strange feeling. I've been away for over 10 years, and it felt totally natural for me, but that's not for everyone.
What were you doing in that 10 years that you were away?
I worked for General Motors for 5 years.
That's right.
Head of corporate affairs, and then I worked for Coke for head of corporate affairs for New Zealand and the Pacific for 5 years. Loved it. Loved the experience. Hard. Holy hell.
When you say hard, like, what was the hardest part about those jobs?
Well, when you get to a certain level, as a news anchor, you're looked after. Everything's done for you.
Everybody comes.
And hey, not complaining, because it was amazing. Like, from haircuts to wardrobe to having stuff to flying you places. Here's an example, right? We're doing this promo for TVNZ. I can't remember what year it was. Doing this promo. Neil, I need you to go to Wellington. And say, what for? And said, we got to do this promo. Okay. So flown down to Wellington, picked up by a limo, taken to my hotel. Mr. Waka, we'll be going off to what do they call the Cape Town then? We're going off to the Cape Town, whatever. And then they took me to a green room at the rugby grounds, and I'm just thinking, I don't even know what's going on here. And so then they came to get me, and they take me on a golf cart out to the stadium part, and there are like hundreds of people there that they were using as part of this promo. And I felt like I was a movie star, I'm just going, Kia ora. And people go, it's Neil Waka. And then I'd sit there and do whatever I had to do, and then I'd stand up and do whatever I had to do, and then I was off while everyone stayed there. And then I was taken back to the green room, and then I was taken back to my hotel. Next morning I was picked up and then taken to the airport and flown back to Auckland. That kind of thing. There's this whole different world, and it was just the most extraordinary experience, and one that you're looking at and going, I don't know why they're treating me like this, but it's kind of cool. And you when you get to that level, the most important work that you're doing is the publicity, is the front work, is the on-air work. And that's not, I felt, I got asked if I was, people would see me and they say, oh, I see you've got your invisible glasses and cap on. And it wasn't because I thought I was anything. It's just to and we always went overseas for holidays, just not because I love this place, but because sometimes you don't feel normal. You feel like they treat you in this certain elevated way. And I'm not saying that I had a problem with it, because it was pretty nice sometimes, but sometimes you just wanted to be part of the furniture. And my sister at my daughter at Kapahaka one time, as a parents thing, and I sat at the back, and she said, Dad, what are you sitting back there for? And I said, oh, because I'm probably more whakamā than people realize. I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. It's just that I know how to do the extrovert stuff, but it doesn't mean I love it. I just know how to do it. And so she goes, Dad, you have to come up here. And I went, huh. And she said, if people know who you are, they're going to think you're a snob. And I went, oh gosh, can't, you're trying to keep everyone happy. And so you're on show all the time.
Yeah.
And that can be really challenging, because you're the representation of the person that people see on TV.
Yes.
And that's what they expect to meet.
Yeah.
That person. And I don't think I've ever been rude. I've had people come up to me when I left TV. I thought, cool, no one's going to remember me. I can just be Neil. And then the number of people, I'd just be out working for the organizations I work for, and they go, does anyone tell you look like Neil Waka? And I'll go, yep. And then at the time I was told, just tell people. And I'll go, yeah, but I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't know what to say. Just say it. So this one time this guy comes up and he goes, you look a lot like Neil Waka. You related to him? I said, yes. I said, I'm Neil Waka. And they went, okay.
Sweet. That's all it took.
It's like, yeah, but it was like, he didn't believe me. No one wants to be Neil Waka. So, yeah, it was just this whole encompassing thing that was just an amazing thing to go through and to experience. But it gets tough. There are times where you just want to just be away from everything. And so you have to have the things that you want to do afterwards, because when you get known to a certain level, everyone wants a piece of you. And I understand that, because I was wanting a piece of people before I met them,
Yeah. And even in the social media space that we've both been in, we've both had those experiences too. I've been to Manganui with my whānau, and we're walking to go get us a kai, and people have stopped me, and they've stopped my mum to talk about me, and I'm like, can we just have whānau time? Like, it's when you're with your whānau and people are coming up to you, and it's like, hi, nice to meet you, but I'm with my family right now. Can't
relate, guys. You're too famous. Can't relate.
Oh, mister, I can't even go to the wharepaku without people leaning over the store.
Hey, we're talking about this. I have had dudes at a bar years ago now. Don't go out too much. But years ago, it would come over to me at the urinals to shake my hand. It's like, and they just put their hand out. It's like, I'm really uncomfortable right now. So those are the types of things that can be really challenging. They're just challenging. But would you prefer not to have it? Well, probably not, because it was an amazing experience. It was a privilege.
Vivian Van der Wall. Well done, Shubz. In New Zealand first swift move. Some of us knew that George was a smooth con man. Shubz brought the receipts after listening this morning. Right outcome. Interesting.
See, it's kind of sad for me that it's just sad that someone's being portrayed in this way, possibly for good reason. I don't know.
What do you mean portrayed?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's sad that your dad's Uncle Bully, but it's sad that he's being portrayed as a pedo. But
I know.
That's sad, guys. No, I'm not saying that George is one. Relax, guys. I'm just giving an example. Okay, reference here.
Yeah, no, I hear that too. I hear that too. It's oh man,
I think it's Neil's heart. Neil's got a big heart.
people shouldn't be like this. It you know, I've lived a life, and it just bothers me when people aren't looking after people. It just bothers me, and the more people that see that, it's going to be tough for people to have to deal with. When they're at the front of that. It's just,
Yeah, and there are massive repercussions from this, especially because they have so many business interests.
Yeah.
And people have already started talking. What's that?
So how would you want this resolved? Absolutely. Okay, we can put this to bed now. Is it okay? We're going to give you the money that you were promised. We're going to what? What else? What would you like?
You go first. I'll go last.
I think at this point, because so much has happened, they should pay the potential lost earnings.
Okay.
At the very minimum, the potential lost earnings that we could have made if they had the right infrastructure in place.
And
because we've had, what's that?
And say sorry. Apologize.
And say sorry. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And mean it. Don't just say it unless you absolutely mean it. Because my very last. What's that?
Way, eh? It would go a long way.
My very last text to Raywin was, "This has all happened because Shubz feels hurt. He feels let down. If you had have handled this better from the beginning, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now." I said, but he feels hurt by people that he once held in high regard. Because you're whānau. And so that apology would be really, really much appreciated because of those whānau connections.
Sorry, I'm just going through Shubz's comment in my head again, and I want to start laughing again. Sorry, your dad's Uncle Bully, but
okay.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
was the question? What was it?
Cool, right? And that's not hard.
What's final resolution look like for you?
What would a good resolution that would the Shubz would go? Okay, cool.
Okay, good resolution. Nah, fuck them, brother. We just carry on. Yeah, straight up. Fuck them, brother. Straight up. Like they probably just try to sue my ass in there, but fuck, what you gonna sue me for? You know what I mean? I don't care. Like I just think, like I've lived a life, cause like a lot of us. I don't mean rape, stabbed, all that shit. So like life ain't good. You can't fuck me more than life has. So to me, I just protect my energy. Now I know I gave you my heart and my everything. You fucking spat on it, kicked it to the curb. You don't never get it again. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
That's sad, yeah.
And that's it. See you later. And enjoy your journey over there.
Okay.
But if you want to go back and forth, we can go back and forth because I ain't even begun uploading the receipts.
But
so,
what would
the resolution to me is fuck them, brother. That's it. And carry on.
What would help
carry on
Shubz
and build the baddest show that we can out. I don't want to.
But hang on, listen to the question.
Oh, okay.
And that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And that's a big incentive to show them that you guys should have done this properly and you should have been with us. But if they could do something, Shubz, that makes you go, all right, we're never gonna be close. We're never gonna have relationships.
Yeah.
We're never gonna have that. But is there something that they could do to go, okay, we are sorry? What would that look like?
Take accountability for everybody you've ever fucked over in business, cuz. Take accountability for that, and then I'll be like, you actually mean it. Otherwise, nah, get fucked.
Okay. It's got to be heartfelt.
Well, it has to be about all the people, because there's fucking heaps, brother. There's heaps that have come to me so this is it might have begun about me and the sis and our little crew. Now it's like, holy Rick, man. You actually literally got all the stuff off the back of vulnerable people and all this, and I don't even know how long you can keep doing that kind of shit for. Like even the Browns Road, which was like a halfway sort of house for vulnerable people. Even the shit that happened there, like the landlord the fellow that owns that place that they used to rent and for their government contracts for homeless and whatever, they owe him $500,000 in rent. And then this is so now I ain't getting no money out of their asses. Oh no. If they feel like go and get it, and there's so many others, I'm just like, bro, just admit you're the clowns, cuz, you know. I'll be honest, brother. I admit when I'm a clown. I admit when I've been a dumb fuck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck, I've been a dumbass. I even admit that I was a dumbass, not taking my goggles off and looking and saying, because Big Papa Horny, so John Tommy Hiri, anybody that follows the Shubs knows this fella, John Tommy Hiri, I coined the phrase, Big Papa Horny, which is pretty much, you just rip off all the people. But like, that's pretty much what I put out there. And now it's Big Papa Horny. Shout out to George. So, yeah. Big Papa Horny. I was working for one, so I'm well, no, that's it, brother. Unless they're willing to like make good with all the people, because that's what I've had to do. Like, it's like make good with myself, like, because in my life, brother, I've been a dick, bro. You know, I sold drugs, done into shit, you know, in the past, and fucking, you know, and I look back and I'm like, you know, started reaching out to people that are like, sorry, bro, for give me a dong, you know what I mean? Like, you owed me money, but like, sorry, brother, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, how can we fix this? Yeah, all of that kind of stuff, or you know, even stuff when I was a kid, bro. You know, I think. You know, obviously I was just, you know, troubled youth like a lot of our family. And I think back, I'm like, I could have done better there. Even just going and sitting with that little kid, bro, like that's what a lot of our journey, Iwi Whakamau, Heal the Nation was. A lot of the places we went to, I was just sitting with the inner child, little things that happened to me, or things that I had held on to my whole life, brother. Let them go, you know, and go and sit with that little young bucky and say, even, and one of them even, and I spoke about it too on content, when I was a kid in Destiny Church, bro, like I was a kid in the, and my old lady over in Brisbane, and I smashed up the whole church, brother. Smashed up all the buildings, like a commercial building. I smashed up all the windows in it, and then I went back there like 20 years later after not being in. I went back there to just not even to go worship Jesus or anything, just to go and say to my little man that sorry, brother, you know, let it go. So it's all done now, you know. So on, take accountability, brother.
Why did you do it?
Oh, I was angry at my old lady, you know. My old lady was. She was just a cunt, brother, to me. She's like, you're ugly, you're fucking, you can't sing, bro. Like, even like, she's just like, just ride me, brother. Like, just give me the meanest bashes. But like, you know, we all got hidings, whatever, like dumbbells, everything, bro. Like, never mind the jug call, get a dumbbell to the face, cause you know, it's fucking nice, and you know, all that kind of shit. But the ones that used to get me, bro, with my old lady she was like, bro, my school like 8 tries down. My cousin scored 1. Next minute, he's the man. Yeah, and I set him up for it. Like all that shit used to piss me off, brother. Nothing I could do was good enough, brother. So, and then I just felt like she was just giving all the money to the church, brother. Oh, I was an angry kid, and then smacked it all up, smashed the church up, bro. Yeah, and then I smashed all the cars up and shit too, brother. Yeah, it was fucked. Yeah, brother.
Yeah,
he's done some stuff.
But there are reasons for it, right? I mean, you went through some real challenges as a young kid.
But I even like now, bro, like I look back and I'm like, fuck, wretched, you know, and you know, I was only a kid, but still, go fix with a teenager.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, brother.
I think we all have that.
Like, take some accountability, bro. Like, actually, like for everybody that's like, don't just like brush them all off like they're nothing that you've. Because there's these people that I've hurt, bro, and I'm like, and it's probably still now that I'm gonna late next year be like, sorry, cuz, you know, not so much the same kind of, not doing the same stuff, but you know, maybe I had disagreements, even things that I looked at now. Maybe I should have listened to you then. Sorry, brother. I'm trying to be better at it and actively working to. Okay, maybe you know, there's always 3 sides to a story. Maybe hear the bro out before, then just roll off for. You know, because a lot of time I'm loyal as bro. I roll like, let's go, fuck them. You know, the next minute, the bro was all shit. He's not even loyalty. Oh, it's like the whole situation with George. He was telling us that what's Kim's role? I don't even know what his role is, but Kim Adams. You know Kim Adams?
Oh yeah.
He was telling us like Kim hated us and all of this stuff, and he wanted. Bro, Kim was like the nicest guy, brother. Like, but I believed him because I'm like, yeah, that's my fault. So I apologized to Kim yesterday. He rang me because he just found out on Facebook that obviously the show was cancelled because he's like the program director of the whole station, something like that. And then he finds out things. So I get all this different information, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, bro, like I think I just believed George about Kim instead of actually giving him a shot. So I rang him, brother. Because he rang me a couple of weeks back, and I'm not answering your minion for George. Get out of here. You know what I mean? I'm not answering you. And then I rang him, brother, and I said, bro, I just want to apologize, brother, for not giving you a chance. And he goes, bro, I didn't want it to come to this. I wanted you to move. He said, I wanted you to move to 7 to 10 because Marcus Lusk gets all the awards every year on News Talk ZB. And I thought you've got to, you know, show they could do things. But we had a big talk, and I was like, sorry, brother. Like, I let my blind loyalty to my uncle who doesn't even give a fuck about me. Tell me that, like, instead of hearing you out, brother, sorry, my bad. But yeah, he took it well.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing, bro. That's a big thing, though, too, because you go through life and you learn things and you try and be better, but not everyone is.
But do you know what I've noticed today, bro, with you? Is that you're a lot better today?
Oh, no, I feel lighter. I feel lighter.
Yeah, no, but what it is you know how sick you got after Iwi Whakamahu and you were carrying all that hara and all that's how sick you've been over this last week. But now that this has ended and you're a lot lighter, you're getting better. You're losing that hara just like you did 7 months ago. And so, we're ridding ourselves of all of that stuff that we picked up in that journey. We've done the same thing again this time around in a different space. And so now we just pick up and we move on to the next thing. And right, whatever happens.
We've got like 1 minute left because I'm not staying on the end longer than I have to.
So
yeah. Final thoughts, Neil Waka, any?
What's that?
Final thoughts.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad that this has happened for me. For me, this is incredibly sad. It's sad that we've been able to develop this and that that platform was taken away, but bigger and better things. And I think the opportunity for and I'll join you for us to travel, do a bit of traveling and start tapping into this amazingness that you guys have and start connecting with people on a personal level the same way as you guys did before, except in nicer hotels.
I did tell Neil about some of our accommodations. He was not up for those ones. Grateful as for being able to put our head down, but yeah.
Shout out to all the whānau that supported and helped us get those little e-coms.
Shout out to Auntie Rachel at the manager's house in Pātuka for her Airbnb.
So let's
any last thoughts, Corina?
Or you get smash some new goals, upward and onwards, and
new goals, finally
become the truth warriors that you are.
And I think that's it for me too, is let's just keep going. We just keep growing and we continue what we've started. We made that commitment to each other a long time ago that we were going to keep continuing doing the mahi, and I am still firm in that commitment that you and I are going to keep continuing to do the mahi, bro.
Sweet. And for me, shout out to you whānau, everybody that tunes in, likes, comments on everything. I know you fellas are pumping in the comments everywhere. And if we don't get to use, if you're on like TikTok or X or even Instagram, like come to YouTube and Facebook. There seems to be the most the one where the comments always come through on the stream, that platform that we use, or YouTube always, and there's always people to yarn with in there. But grateful, even if you just watch like a couple of seconds of the videos, if you like it, if you share it to your friends, if you put the phone down or the device down and talk to people, and kanohi ki te kanohi face to face and tell them about what we do and have discussions, and we open up discussions. That's what it's all about. We hear this spark conversation and also see some more smoke for George